2, 1, go for it.
Hello, welcome one and all to part 3 of the race down the dead road. I'm Jack, still GMing, and with me I have the same nice little lovely couple that's been with us for most of the race, Vanris and Aiden. If you have just suddenly dropped into this third session,
Watch the first one.
to each his own, but their introductions are definitely in the first session of the race. So if you want to know more about them, go watch that. For us, I think we should just go ahead and drop right in. So it's been another couple of hours in hyperspace after you escaped the last leg of the race. And as you get the warning signal that the Sunflare is about to drop out of hyperspace, I assume Aiden gets back in the cockpit ready for anything.
Yep.
All right. You drop out of hyperspace to find yourself in the midst of an oncoming asteroid collision.
Well, that sounds like a bad thing. We should probably not hit that.
Yes, and apparently you are right in the middle of an asteroid field. Small rocks are already battering against the hull as the Sunflare suddenly starts to decelerate as impact warnings start to blare in the cockpit.
Venris will get on the comms and say to Zevo, who we think is still on board.
He should be.
He should be.
As far as I know, he didn't jump out. So.
You better strap yourself in down there. We've got a hell of a meteor storm.
Asteroid field, but
yeah, that too.
There's a fundamental difference.
Stop being picky.
All right. I'm adding on the setback because of your injury and the density of the field. It looks like you came right into it from a perpendicular angle. Go ahead.
Could Vanris do like a co-pilot or astrogation check to try to aid with this?
She can if she wants.
Yeah.
Vanris runs up to the co-pilot seat and grabs the yoke.
And she'll
I'm not sure what this would be for navigating around asteroids. Would that be co-piloting or would that be astrogation, or would they be just two entirely different things to try?
Well, co-piloting she could co-pilot to downgrade, or she can plot course, which would give you boosts.
Co-piloting is probably better in this.
Yeah.
Astrogation for some reason, but yeah.
Yeah, if you want to set the difficulty and I will roll.
Already set.
Okay, here we go.
There are setback because of the density of the field, but you still succeed with 1 downgrade.
Okay.
All right. Aiden's difficulty is now set.
All right, and rolling. Got it.
All right. A couple of asteroids are actually coming together for a collision right in front of you, but you pull the stick and the Sunflare is able to just nick the edge of one of them as it goes around. However, from the after effects of the explosion, you are going to have to roll another a bit easier check to make sure the Sunflare doesn't hit by any debris.
Explosion from nicking it, or?
No, because like I said, those asteroids were colliding.
Oh, the asteroids were
you're
colliding. Okay.
Yeah, you had to dodge from just running into that to begin with, and now because they're breaking apart, you have to make sure you don't get hit by the debris.
Okay. I would appreciate another co-pilot.
Another co-pilot, okay.
All right.
Sorry.
The difficulty set.
I lost it, sorry.
You're allowed to tell us if there's no reason to co-pilot.
There you go, free advantage. No idea what that'll do.
All right.
The advantage will give you 1 boost, because I usually have it on a 2, but no downgrades. Okay. So go ahead and roll your dodge.
Got it.
All right. You're able to avoid that. And in fact, now that you have a clear picture of the field, you're able to pull the Sunflare up into a lighter portion of it. I mean, it's a massive field. You can't see the ends of it, but you can see that it gets lighter as you get further up. So after you manage to dodge this explosion of debris, you pull up to get a better look at the situation.
Okay. You see like a general course to where we got to go?
Yeah. Actually, you also notice this.
Oh. So that's the planet in the center there?
Nope, that's a star.
Oh, fair enough.
It looks like you are in the coordinates properly described by the last map. However, this is no system you've seen. This is either a proto-system, which doesn't make sense because the map is old, or something happened to the system that was already here that led to the complete destruction of the planetary bodies.
So it's been Alderaan in some capacity.
Yeah, looking for love in Alderaan places.
Yep. All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So you can either do a knowledge education check to get a better understanding of what exactly happened to the system, or if you don't necessarily care, you can just flip on the scanners and do a either computers or perception check to see what you can pick up in the giant debris field that surrounds the star.
Would Outer Rim count?
No, because this has to be knowledge about stellar phenomenon, not geography.
Phenomenon.
Okay.
Do.
Fair enough.
Or something like that. I'll do a perception thing.
Because I figure with Outer Rim, maybe it would just be about whatever this used to be.
This area has been obscured for who knows how long. So, so basically this is the first time that we're actually gaining information on this place. So I think so a perception check would be probably better.
Well, it's not like we can't do both, right? Like the knowledge check is just seeing if we know anything about it.
True, but but they're not mutually exclusive, but they're chronologically synchronized, so you can't help each other out if you decide to do both.
Okay, I'm going to do a perception.
Well, what is your perception? Let me just see what Aiden says.
Oh, I got 3 ranks.
3 ranks, and how much cunning?
3.
Oh yeah, go for it. I'll do the knowledge check, I guess.
All right. Perception check first.
Okay. Here we go.
I wasn't done setting the difficulty.
Oh, sorry.
You just roll the difficulty separately, Jack, and then we'll just use that with her roll.
I do apologize. I thought you were ready. My bad.
Is that the same difficulty?
Yeah. Well, there was the boost wasn't supposed to be given to her, but it rolled blank.
So if it roll blank, we'll just take the first one then, right? Because I mean, the only difference was the boost, which was blank.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. All right, we'll deal with what you find in a second.
It totally wasn't because there were 5 failures.
It's like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
I can certainly guess bias, but you are right, so no point arguing it. Do you have any ranks in education?
Me? No.
Actually, you know what? It wouldn't be ranks in education. I guess it would just be personal experience.
Aiden has been around the galaxy.
Yeah. I'd say that would take off a setback and add. Although I guess this is your 3rd check with the setback, so this would be your last +1 anyway. I will give you a boost though because of you've been around the block.
Okay, let me know when I'm good.
I'm not going to ask what he's been doing around the block.
Deliveries mostly.
You're set. You're set.
Okay. Education, you said, right?
Yep.
Hey.
All right. So what Aiden gets through his cursory glance of the scanners, the system as a whole, you believe that what happened here was some sort of stellar collapse. Not as extravagant as a supernova, but something that caused the star to suddenly shed a large portion of its mass. Which
So it's like a white dwarf right now? Or
about, yeah.
Okay.
Something like a CME.
Yeah, and then after, probably thousands of years, what remained of the stuff, the ejection destroyed, settled back around into a gravitational pattern. You also guess that this probably was helped by a couple of larger bodies on the edge of the system that probably survived, but the Sunflare scanners don't reach that far.
Larger as in planets, or as in large relative
Probably
to the debris right now?
given the fact that it seems to have settled upon a complete solar plane, it's probably something akin to a gas giant or something that has a very, very large gravitational pull.
Okay. So Aiden will point out, I was like, yeah, we probably want to check around the outer edges. There might be something there. Our sensors can't reach it though.
Where exactly did the Navi computer? Is this the exact position where said thing is supposed to be, or?
Well, this
yeah,
system,
you consult Pippa, and she's like, "You're in the correct system. Like this is where this map told you to be."
Yeah, the Navi computers generally only get you to the system, not necessarily right on top of a planet. You can kind of fudge it if you push past the boundaries, but.
Yeah, Pippa might have been able to get to the planet if, one, she had your help, or two, had a bit more precise information regarding the stellar drift. I mean, because for a bit of context, what you were doing to get to this point was getting the map of the original sector before everything shifted around, back when the huts were still here, and then extrapolating that because of the phenomenon, this is where the system is now.
Right.
Okay, so are those boxes from you, Jack?
Yes, this is a result of Vaness's scan. You have picked up 3 points of interest. If I can figure out how to freaking get these things highlighted again.
Let me zoom out a little bit. I only see 2 right now.
There's only 2 that are available. I'm still trying to get the last one changed. Okay. There we go. Now there's 3.
Okay, which is the nearest one to us?
Yeah, we'll head whichever one seems the most likely based on my data and, based on what I knew and her data. So. Okay,
well, do you want to go to the closest one or the one that's most relevant? Because what you extrapolated earlier about the planets that hold the balance of the system in line, that one would be that right there. Not necessarily the closest because you're in the middle of the system and that's on the end, but that's the most relevant to what you were talking about.
Yeah, the most relevant one then, I think.
So that would probably be that one.
Wait, what?
No, the top one, right? Since
this one right here is actually the planet that Vanris picked up.
Okay,
all the other markers you discovered are actually in the giant debris field.
Right, yeah. So that's the thing we're after.
Well, no, that's the thing that's closest to what Aiden was talking about.
That's the thing we think we might be after. Definite maybe. I say we head there.
You might argue with the pilot.
And the navigator, for that matter. So, yeah, let's head over.
All right. I assume you probably want to take the easy route and just fly on top of the debris field, not through it.
Unless you feel an astrogation would let us get there quicker.
It certainly would be. I mean, the closest route between 2 points is a straight line, which would be through the debris field. So you can either just settle down to piloting, or someone could do an astrogation to maybe plot a course.
Would I be able to plot the course? I guess is my question.
Yeah, you can try plotting the course before you fly through it.
Yeah,
but you're still going to have to piloting check. Like I said, that would just add and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
All right. So, and this check finally gets rid of all of your strain setback.
Wasn't that from before? Or you mean this is the one that doesn't have it?
Yeah, this is the first one that doesn't have it, since you did 2 piloting checks and the education check.
Gotcha.
All right. So this is going to be astrogation.
If I can get an unskilled assist on
because you're trying to plot a course from pretty much the middle of the system to the edge of the system, it's going to have a couple of upgrades. But your difficulty set whenever you're ready to go. But yeah, if you want, if Aaron wants to give unskilled assistance, I need to know so I can add the boost.
Well, she's not really good at like astrogation at the minute.
Which is why it would be unskilled.
She thinks she's just getting away. All she knows how to do more or less is get everybody else to fly.
So
that's what she was like back in her day.
So is she not helping then?
She's probably getting in the way, but she's just letting Aiden do what he needs to do.
Okay, so she's following directions, we'll say.
More or less. She's just getting out of his way.
Yeah, just look up this thing for me for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going.
Okay, wait. Is she actually helping, or is she getting out of his way? Because I need to know.
She's getting out. She's just getting out of his way.
Okay,
so you're not giving the assistance then?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Just need to know one way or another. Yeah.
All right. Then everything's set.
All right, so I'm going to decrease the difficulty by 1 with Master Starhopper.
Oh wait, are you just putting a -1 on the purple thing on your thing?
Can I do that? Oh, I can. Yeah, good point. I'll just do that. The problem with that though is the upgrades. So as long as you're doing the upgrades as upgrades and not just straight reds, that'll work. In case.
Yeah, they're upgrades, so you're good.
Okay. All right, and you take the 2 strains. Since I don't have a token here, I'll just put it on the sheet. And astrogation, go.
All right, unfortunately,
second chances.
Of course.
I'm going to re-roll the yellow and the green.
All
there.
right, the difficulty has been nailed, so you're good.
Okay. So it's just a yellow and green there, and roll. Yeah, that's better.
So as you start looking through your scopes, you're seeing that the asteroids seem to, while they are caught in a general pattern, they keep hitting each other, splitting up, further dividing, pulverizing, changing course, as long as they keep swirling in one direction. So you originally think it's a bit too chaotic to predict a course through. I may just have to intuit it. But no, you start, after a little bit of time focusing on it, you're starting to see a pattern. And you get that if you, instead of actually an entirely straight line, you actually go a bit with the flow, with the swirl of the debris, you probably would have a bit of an easier time. So I'd actually add 3 boosts to your piloting check to get there.
Oh, very nice. All right. Just because it's an asteroid field, I don't want to get hit by an asteroid. Flip. And to give you something to work with, Jack.
Actually, I can't, because at least not on this check.
Not this check, but eventually,
All right. Let's see. All right, your difficulty is set for piloting.
Okay. I'm glad I haven't had to use my reroll on the first roll this time, like I did last time. But that was very nice. I appreciate that roll a lot. It's a very good roll.
All right, yeah. It still takes you a little bit. Slow and steady wins the race to a degree, but you are able to emerge from the asteroid, from the debris field, unscathed, and before you is basically a Jovian type gas giant a bit in the distance. Scopes are picking up a couple of moons, but surprisingly not many, given you would think, just from your basic knowledge of star hopping, that something like this would probably have taken things out of the debris field constantly being where it is, but yet it seems like it's only captured a few things in its orbit.
Does it look like this potentially like too much of a gravitational pull around the star in the center? Is that what you're getting at? Like more than another expected?
I think this is going to be an education check to probably better divine what exactly is going on here.
Because
would astrogation apply to that? Because it's not navigating itself, but
it
has
could.
What type?
This specifically has to deal with gravitational phenomenon, so I think astrogation can somewhat apply.
Okay.
I will add a difficulty dice though, because that's kind of extrapolating from something that's not entirely connected to the problem.
Okay. I will remove it by taking 2 strain.
Fenris will probably say something like, reveals gravitational eddies. There's a possibility there's a cloaked planet.
A cloak. I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's figure out what's going on first. All right. And just making sure I got everything lined up here. Okay.
All right.
That was very close, actually. Okay.
That's interesting. Do you negate setback on?
I have 4 setbacks, actually. Yes.
Jeez.
I have
All right,
4
okay,
ranks
yes.
of a galaxy mapper.
The scopes are telling you one thing about the gas giant's mass, but that is not proportional to the gravitational pull you're detecting. You probably just feel it in the way you have to keep the sun flare away from the gas giant. So something is definitely weird here. That gas giant should not have as hard as a pull as it does, comparable to its mass, and yet it does. That also might explain why it has so few moons, because if it doesn't grab something just right out of the debris field, it just eats it.
Oh, so they're pulling in too much. Okay. So it's not that it's being overpowered by whatever's in the center, it's that there's more coming into this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, all the things that you consider to be moons around this thing are probably just very lucky bits of the debris field that didn't just get swallowed when they got caught.
Came in at exactly the right angle and speed and all that.
Precisely.
Okay. So this thing is pulling way harder than it should. There must be something up with this.
In order to get a good scan of the planet, you're going to have to put the sun flare a bit in danger by putting it into the gravity well.
Okay. So pull into orbit then, into whatever orbit makes sense for doing that.
All right. That's going to be another piloting check, which I'm sure won't be a problem for you, but still needs to be rolled.
Yep.
You start as you kick up the engines to try and keep a level playing field against the planet. You start feeling the ship groan, hearing the ship groan slightly as you can see the fins are starting to point inward, and the hull itself seems to be kind of bottling. Like even Venris can kind of detect it as she's walking along the deck plate. Some of them are starting to slightly bow inward towards the center of mass.
A co-piloting would be great right about now, actually. So.
All right. If Fenris wants to participate.
This sounds like it could be dangerous.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me just reset this for co-piloting check.
Sorry.
No problem. As long as I get enough forewarning. Go ahead and roll when you're ready for the co-pilot. All right. Unfortunately, Venris is just struggling as much as you are just to keep the ship level. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to help much.
All right, here goes then. Get your difficulty back in there, and
I'm gonna flip once. Another upgrade.
Okay. All right. Where was it? Piloting space. There we go. Oh, that needs. You know, I'm not going to use the reroll now. There's no despairs or anything, and it's advantageous to a degree too. So
second chances.
That's once an encounter.
Yeah.
Right.
So the sun flare starts getting pulled closer and closer in, and you start getting some atmospheric chop. However, if you wanted to do a scan now, you would get some pretty good results because you're even closer than you intended to be in the first place. So in this brief moment before you probably start getting crushed, if you want to do a scan.
Yeah, Fenris will do the scan.
Get that scan before I have to jet out of here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll actually give you 3 boosts for that. Because it's gonna...
Okay.
All right.
Computers.
Difficulty is ready for you.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you actually pick something up. In what is probably akin to this gas giant's. Actually, no, I'm not going to go that far to make it analogous to Jupiter. You are detecting probably a distance away, probably about long-range planetary distance. There is a large mass of clouds that seems to be swirling independent of the general wind current.
Just above the planet?
No, in the atmosphere, since you're being pulled into it right now anyway.
But above it, though, not like within, because this is a gas giant, right? So it's like...
how far into the atmosphere?
Yeah, is it like in the core of the thing, or is it like...
No, it's in the atmosphere, which I considered in the planet, but yeah, no. I wasn't going to say it, but it's like the big red spot on Jupiter. It's a giant storm. You detect something in the center of that storm. And whatever it is, it seems to have some sort of weird connection to the core of the planet. Like it's
potentially tethered to it.
Yeah, you're detecting like a line of energy that goes further into the planet to the point beyond your scanner's range.
Okay, I'll pull it out of there for now, just to keep the ship safe.
There's got to be a stable spot, eye of the storm, where it's most calmer. So I think that thing...
I mean, getting close to that thing itself might be dangerous, but we'll find out, I guess, in a minute. So...
Yeah. Message from James, could only do last night.
That's a shame. So yeah, pulling up for now at least, just to get away from the crushing gravity.
Another piloting check.
A co-piloting, please. Would be very helpful.
I am going to upgrade it once because the fact that you are now suffering from the more intense pressures of gravity. Pull of gravity, I guess. Pressure is a completely different thing. If any astronomers are watching, they're going to be very mad at me.
It's all right. This is Star Wars. We fudge everything. If it was Star Trek, they'd have an argument. But
okay,
they attempt to be
going to
more
upgrade that because I definitely want
stuff.
us to succeed there. So, okay, here. Okay, here we go.
All right, unfortunately, Vanris just cannot level the ship out. It's all up to Aiden.
All right, let's go for that piloting then.
All right, I'm going to flip.
I will as well, I believe.
Could she use her brawn?
Oh, wait, no, you just gave me that one, huh?
Could she
yeah,
use...
no, that just, I gauge, yeah, you can't use that one.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say, could she use her brawn to try and...
I know exactly what you're trying to get at. That doesn't really work here.
Okay.
I mean, it's more. I'm more flavoring why you failed. I'm not saying that you need to be stronger to pull the thing up.
Yeah, all right. So, where are you piloting? There we go. I had those setbacks in. Yeah. Got it. I'll take the threat. That's fine.
All right. I'm gonna force that. Oh no, it has to be 2 threat to force it on the ship, isn't it?
What, for system strain?
Yeah.
Would it?
I don't.
I mean, I think it's still strain is strain and just vehicles.
Oh no, you know what? I think when it's a personal check. I don't know what I'm trying to get at here, but yeah, the ship definitely takes the strain.
Except Aiden can take it as personal strain, so he's
of course.
up to 3 of it anyway.
All right, so you feel like your very guts are being pulled down towards the center of this planet, but Aiden is able to throttle up the engines and with a bit of a weird gravitational assist maneuver, sling the Sunflare free of the more intense part of the gravity well.
Slingshot.
Yes. And
if I had for whatever reason decided to do a showboat on that probably would have been how I described it too.
Yes, the cameras, the hut cameras that are watching you would be very impressed.
Yeah.
All right, so you now are back in a more stable orbit above the gas giant, and you now know that there is something here.
So can we, from that stable orbit, can we go closer to that spot we found that was
the sweet spot,
the suspicious area?
Yeah. If you're willing to, oh, never mind. Yes, I was gonna throw in something weird about you have to wait like 30 minutes for an orbit, but some time passes. You have to keep your stable orbit going, or else you risk having to make another hard piloting check. But you are able
we just
after
make a
little
pass
bit,
around, you know.
yeah, after a little bit of time, you make your pass over the spot again. And even visually, now that you know what to look for, you do see that there is like a speck right in the middle of that storm, and all the wind current seems to be ultimately circulating around it.
Can we get a scan on it?
Yes. No setback because you know exactly what you're looking at, but the storm is going to cause some interference, so this is going to be a hard perception check with actually, it's going to be upgraded 3 times. Actually, make that 4 times.
Wow, okay. Aiden will unskilled assist on this, I guess, since you have better perception across the board.
Okay, so that'll be a boost, and I'm gonna flip that.
Enhance. That's how he assists. He says enhance, and the screen zooms in.
so
enhance. Zoom in, enhance.
Yeah.
Do we have
That's not how it works.
Do we have a Vulcan science officer? Sorry, wrong thingy. But anyway, yeah. So here we go.
Oh, that was very nice.
All right. So you actually zoom in and enhance because you did get a success from that boost, and you see what seems to be a large station. It almost looks like a cylinder, but it kind of fattens out in the middle and spreads into a couple of tubes. And those tubes actually seem to be doing something that's causing the storm in the first place. They're agitating it. They're constantly circling around the base of the cylinder, and they're sucking something in. Is it just the gas? You can't quite tell. But with the Triumph, you can pretty easily see that this is of Hut design. It has the same sort of architectural features. It's a bit closer to what you've seen even back in Venris's heyday, and what you see now with the large, fatty cylinders with the kind of weird hat thing on top.
And you said it's kind of like drawing power from the core or something, right? Because you said we said there was a kind of energy tether kind of thing.
I mean, you're viewing it from a bird's eye view, so you can't quite piece that one together yet.
Okay, but that's what we kind of assume based on what we knew from before.
Yeah. I mean, it is in some way there is some energy that is being directed downward.
Oh, so it's going from the station to the core. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what's anchoring it in place.
Okay, well, if we're going to go down further, I'd suggest we get some environment suits on.
Do we see what appears to be any kind of like landing vector at all?
No. You don't see any visible openings, but that flat top at the top of the station looks definitely big enough for you to park a ship on, but the thing is you'd be exposed.
And we don't seem to see any way of getting in, so...
Not from your distance.
Do we have... We don't have any like probe droids or anything we can send over?
No, we don't think we have, because I've been looking in the armory.
Yeah.
No.
Aiden's got a maintenance droid he can float out the airlock, but I don't think that'll help.
Well, all you have to do is turn the shield off since the airlock is still somewhat blown open.
Oh, yeah. That is a problem. Well, I guess first things first, Aiden will probably set his R7 that he has on board, that I remember that he has now. Maybe set him to kind of get to work fixing the thing. Just while we're if for nothing else, then just for something for it to do.
All right. Yeah. I mean, there's probably some spare metal in the cargo bay you can at least use a patch job on.
Yeah.
Better not be using that Durasteel of mine.
We can always either take it off when we actually get it properly fixed, or
we'll
figure it out.
Yeah.
He'll use what he has.
Gives you a nice big boo boo as it goes into the cargo bay.
All right. So we didn't see any kind of means into it.
There could be something
I mean, I'm
that
thinking
obviously that we can't see.
Aiden will actually call Zivo over and say, "Does this look familiar to you at all? Have you ever seen anything like this from your people?" Not that you necessarily know all huts, but you know what I mean. Like,
what is this? Your people?
I mean, the huts is what I mean. Like, that's obviously what I meant.
This is
I don't know how much. I mean, Zivo knows at least some bit of his people's history, right? I mean, he's not a clan of the ancient, but he's been around the block.
All right. Let me go ahead and roll his.
He's old, but he's not that old.
I guess this isn't straight up history, so I have him roll education for it.
That could also be considered lore, right?
It's the same for him either way, anyway.
Well, I could tell you, Dr. Ogorob would absolutely love to get his hands on that.
I'm sure he would.
There's not supposed to be 4 boost on that. So unfortunately, actually no, he still has 1 success left over because everything rolled threat.
Hooray!
So what he does have is 1 success but 3 threat.
In 2?
No, 3 because there were these supposed to be no boost.
I'm looking at a success and 2 advantage versus 4 threat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so the 3 would have gotten him a spare. So 2 threat. Yep. All right, so he nods as he says back, how would he say this? Back before the huts first formed the indenture contracts with races like the Klatunians and the Sakians, we had small mining operations when we left Varl. The design isn't exactly similar. It seems to be serving the same kind of purpose. It might be collecting Tabana or something else.
Tabana is what was on Bespin, yeah. So, I'm not sure.
No,
I'm not sure if
he's saying
that from Zivo or yeah.
No, that's from Zivo.
Okay.
Like, Tabana would be the first guess if you see a mining station over a gas giant, but there's other stuff, so
Right.
he doesn't exactly know what it's trying to collect.
Yeah, something like this galaxy's helium or something.
So, do you know how they would? They have to maintain these at some point, right? How would they get in?
Probably
you know?
through an airlock.
For the threat, I would say he doesn't.
Fair enough.
Usually they used shuttles, but the designs I'm familiar with would have small openings in the side. This seems to be solid straight through.
I guess the best we can do is approach and see what we find as we get closer. All right, so at least we'll come in. We'll go in for a landing somewhere that looks suitable.
All right.
I guess as we go in, I'll be looking for maybe a more covert landing spot than right on top of the thing.
All right. As you start to enter the more intense part of the gravity well again, hold on. All right. Yeah, no, still need a piloting check. I'll give you actually a boost by default. Now you're starting to, you're starting to get familiar with how to deal with this sort of pull. All right, co-pilot. Go ahead and try and roll.
Okay.
All right. Varys, even with her prior experience, Varys just can't seem to help you level the thing out.
Well, she's consistent, if nothing else. She blanked out this time and last one. All right, so let me take that. Flip on the dark side, then I will retaliate. All right, let me make sure I got that in there. Yep. Go. That one I'm re-rolling. Yeah, I'm glad I saved that re-roll. Let's do that again. Much better.
All right. So actually, as you start to get closer to the facility and manage to, actually, you have to do what kind of looks like it probably a reverse takeoff. Like you have the back of the ship angled towards the planet, and you're just letting the gravity bring you in while you use the engines to make sure it's not like pulling you right to the center.
Disabled descent.
I would say since I had to do the reroll, maybe like something like cuts out real fast, and I like quickly, pull it back into shape so it's all fine.
Nobody likes a show off.
You're feeling that the fin stabilizers are about to just pull away because they are so far away from the center of mass, but you actually angle them into landing position, and that straightens things back out. As you actually pull down towards the station, you get a Pippa queues up a ping that she detected coming from the station. Now that you've gotten so close to it, she can't translate it though by herself.
What does it come in?
Venris will say, "Put it on speakers, please, and I will do my best to see if I can help you."
You immediately listen to it, and it says that same older Huddy's dialect that you saw back on the other planet. It looks like it was just so obscure and somewhat garbled that Pippa couldn't make it out herself. You immediately translate those to see unidentified vessel, transmit security clearance, or you shall be barred entry.
Well, we know we don't have that. Can we try to... We didn't glean anything, like any information like that from the last planet, right? Like nothing remotely.
No, you didn't see anything that was like electronic when you were on the last planet.
Yeah. Or even just like in general for this whole thing. We haven't received anything that would remotely resemble clearance codes, right?
Nope.
All right. Can we maybe try to rig the ship's communications in a way? Well, I mean, rig, but
you mean try and bypass the security?
Maybe just like try to send some kind of fudge a clearance code kind of thing.
How can we fudge a clearance code?
I don't know. Like try to send some kind of signal that would maybe either overload it or overwhelm it, so it would confuse it. I don't know. Something to keep it from like just locking down on us. Because
I'd say
it's better than not doing something, right?
I would say that it's not impossible, but it would be an incredibly difficult computers check.
It's going to be a formidable check.
I'm almost certain.
Yes, but it's going to be formidable, upgraded by the system security. So. You can also maybe just not.
Where's HK when you need him?
I mean, where's any character that has intelligence stat?
Where's your R7? Oh, by the door.
Yeah, he's repairing the door.
He's on the outside of the ship after just getting pulled away by the gravity well. There's your despair if you kept it. Outside gets pulled out.
Were you actually going to do that? I'm curious.
That just came to mind, so it probably wasn't going to happen. I was probably going to have like one of the wings get ripped off and have that compromise your flying for a while. But that would have been a great idea at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you lose your droid.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the ship level, and then all of a sudden you hear a whoop.
You know what? I would think it might be best.
How about if we get your droid?
I don't know how much help he's going to be with this, honestly. So
he should be able to interface an airlock.
I mean, he can interface with things. Yeah, he can help once we dock or something if we can try to bypass something there. But for this particular kind of task, I don't think he's going to be able to do much. He has stats, but they're not great.
They're better than nothing.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to chance tripping security here. It's better to be just barred than to be shot down, I think. If they have any kind of space laser cannons on the surface of this thing, which I don't know if we've seen any or not, but has the place looked like it's armed?
You again, from a bird's eye perspective, you don't see any weapons.
Yeah, so I think we should just not give clearance codes and just land and see what we can find from there. See if we can find some other way in, because we got to do something with this. And we don't have anything resembling clearance codes. If we had like Allrow or something here, that would be so much easier to do, but yeah, I'm thinking we just ignore its request and just land.
Wait a minute. How about if we put in a mayday? It should accept a mayday.
Assuming the universal code for a mayday hasn't changed since this was put together, sure.
Well, let me see what I can come up with.
Yeah, I know in your Hati style, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's worth a shot, at the very least. I assume you're working out the difficulty for that check.
It's communicating with James.
I mean, you turn on open frequency and start talking in an older Hades dialect. You don't get a response. You get the feeling that the station doesn't care.
All right. Well, we'll just land then. It was worth a try.
All right.
And
you bring the Sunflare down to its takeoff position, probably engines on the bottom. I'll let you know that a typical repulsor lift takeoff from a horizontal plane is going to be pretty difficult because the repulsor lift would have to fight against the gravity.
yeah.
In fact, as you land, you feel like you're pulled into your seat even tighter than you were before. So there's going to be a standing 2 setback on any physical checks because of the higher gravity.
Gotcha. Is it effectively difficult terrain?
Yeah.
I ignore that.
Actually,
I don't know. Outdoors probably wouldn't help. I don't think. Or would it? I don't know.
I don't know if gravity is considered terrain. I think it's a natural hazard.
It's a natural force, so...
And this is like stuff that has to do with like even your resilience would have setbacks because your body is suffering the strain.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think outdoorsman would help you here.
Because basically think about, you're being strapped into a rocket and that rocket taking off. Because you're gonna get tons of force of gravity acting on your body. So that's gonna be strain enough.
Yeah, I've got a reference thing here. Where the heck is the gravity one? I had one.
Gravity, that's the thing that
Here we go. I found it.
that keeps you on the planet.
It's supposed to be just brawn and coordination. Looks like this. Like brawn-based and coordination. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and that was pretty much along the lines I was figuring.
But not necessarily difficult terrain. Okay.
Yeah. So if you do anything related to brawn, remind me so I can put 2 setback on top of whatever you're doing.
Okay.
Anyway, so you land the Sunflare down, and given your excursions, I sincerely doubt that this thing is devoid of spacesuits. So you can find those and strap them on.
Mhm.
But then you pop out the hatch. R7 gives you a nice goodbye. Like, don't die.
Aiden, we'll give him a wave and say, if you're not finished by the time we get back,
Put the kettle on.
just be ready to kick the ship on at a moment's notice if we have to make a quick escape. Either
All right.
or Zivo,
I mean,
pass the message on.
It has to use like its weird. It kind of has to use its magnet treads to keep from just having to roll across the walls.
Yeah.
But, he says, "I'll try." As he rolls back into the airlock to keep fixing it.
Yeah.
All right. So now you are on the roof of not the roof. What would you call I guess the top deck, the deck of the station. It is.
Does it look like it's meant to be walked on in some capacity, or is it just kind of the top of the thing?
I mean, it's perfectly flat, aside from one small kind of pyramid dome in the center. But aside from that, I mean, you don't see any blast marks or anything that would let you know that a ship has actually landed here before.
At least not in the past several hundred years or something.
Yeah.
Several million, I'd expect.
A million might be a bit much. I mean, the farthest back of anything in Star Wars is like 10,000 years. But all right, so I guess we'll head towards the only notable thing on this.
All right.
Cautiously.
So you approach the dome structure in the middle, and this thing is like probably silhouette 2 size. You could barely fit a single hut in it if it was possible to open it. Go ahead and roll me a. Actually, I'll just have to be able to. It's going to be a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
I will give an unskilled assist to Vanris, and is this far enough away that the binoculars would help? I'm not sure how close.
No,
we are to
you're
everything yet.
like standing right in front of it.
Okay, so
Here
yeah,
you go. I'm gonna get my binoculars out. Here we go.
get a really close look at whatever this thing is.
All right, difficulty set, so go whenever.
Okay. Here we go. That's nasty.
All right. You don't see anything. Like, this thing looks like it's solid all the way through, but you decide to. Oh my, excuse me. As you round a bend to the other side of it, the wind suddenly picks up, and you're knocked a bit to the side, and you have to put your hand on the cone for balance. And as you do, you find it gives a little bit. It kind of moves inward. And when you
Like
lean
the
back,
metal kind of curves inward, kind of like with her hand, or is it?
no,
Like
the entire structure sinks into the deck a bit.
Oh.
And as you lean back away and remove your hand, it pops back up, and then you actually see the metal fold from the top downward, kind of fold inward, forming a pit.
Okay.
Well, that's ominous.
Okay. Okay. She's going to head in.
Before you just jump into the pit,
Pistol
look into the pit.
drawn.
Oh yeah, it's not like formed a shaft. It's almost like the dome itself has flipped around, has caved in on itself a bit. So it looks just like a shallow bowl. Well, not shallow. It's basically how big the dome was on top, but it's now inverse.
Reversed.
It's gone from converse to concave.
Convex to concave.
Instead of an outie, it's now an innie.
Yeah, sure. That I've in the bottle a bit. Ian's got on the whiskey. Yes, convex to concave. I use concave a lot more than I use convex.
Yeah, it's not as common.
Guess I got confused with the shoe. Thanks, Converse.
Exactly. All right, so let's investigate, I suppose. Up close.
All right. So do you just kind of slide into the bowl, or?
I think to test it, is there anything at all lying around, or is this just a completely smooth surface?
No, I don't think there would be anything debris-wise on this thing,
Yeah.
whatever it is. So I wouldn't say yes. I would say
Does-
definitely no.
Does Vanders have anything she can just throw in there to test this with?
Yeah, you!
Aiden will throw in a glow rod in the center and see what happens.
It flies off.
Clang, 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 clang. It just sinks to the bottom of the bowl. Nothing happens.
All right, I'll go in and retrieve it.
Okay. Vanris, you see Aiden slide into the bowl, and immediately it kind of sinks down a bit again, just like when you leaned on it. And
Yeah.
then it looks like in just an instant, the bowl flips back up. Like if it was on a hinge along an axis, it suddenly turns up on itself and again becomes a dome.
Right.
Aiden, you fall down like 2 feet and find you're in a kind of a very dim area. It kind of looks like a small maintenance tunnel.
Aiden will come up. All right, just do what I did. I'll get out of the center so you don't land on me. It's a very short fall though, so just watch your step.
Okay, yep, she'll just put a hand on it and let it go from an outie to an innie. And she will slide down it.
All right. You slide in. Again, the bowl sinks like an inch and then suddenly flips back up, kind of just plopping you on the floor, just like it did with Aiden.
Yeah, but she does it with a little bit more graceful.
Of course.
Well, because she knew what to expect.
Yeah, she lands on her feet.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Aiden's got his glow rod out and he's looking around and seeing.
All right. It looks a lot like, it looks just almost like a maintenance tunnel, and the probably many you've been in and doing repairs on your own ship or the Sunflare, small little vents here and there. The corridor is basically big enough for probably you to crouch in. But other than that, it just looks like several tunnels leading out from where you are. Actually, as you're looking through, you're starting to hear a soft clanging coming down several of the vents. And on that note, I'm going to have to quickly step away. So I know this session's already short, but I need to call for a bit of a 5-minute break.
Okay.
So, what do you think?
The clanging? I don't know.
Yeah.
Possibly a droid. Not much else can stay out here for this long.
Yeah.
Either that or someone just dropped a grenade down the vent.
Always the optimist, aren't you?
Yes, actually.
Could be worse, it could be a grenade. Boom!
Yeah. At this point, I'd probably rather it be a grenade. It's easier to get out of the way than that.
It's okay, I'm just keeping recording because I don't know how to splice
That's fine.
two videos together, so.
No worries. Oh, you wouldn't need to anyway. You'd just put them in the folder, and then Tommy could upload them and edit it himself if he needed to.
No, what was it? 6 hours to actually upload the previous two. It's like,
Oh, I mean, you're taking, 3 hours of video. That's not a small amount.
No.
Even if the scene isn't changing much, that's still, especially at 1080p or whatever your monitor is at.
I have no idea.
I imagine it's 1080p at this point, or close enough. Yeah, video is not small.
No.
I don't know how big the files are, but I watch a lot of anime, and most episodes of an anime, which are like 20 minutes or so,
Yeah.
are like 500 megs if it's an HD one.
Let's see. 3.10 gigs for part 2.
Yes, that's
2.87 for part 1.
Yeah.
And that's an MP, and they're both MP4s.
Mm-hmm. MP4 is kind of standard.
Hmm.
It's a shame that I'm going to miss Saturdays, but
I'm going to miss tomorrow's. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to go to Games Club, do tomorrow night and go to Games Club in the morning. It's like, oh god, I'll be a zombie.
yeah. I mean, your time zone makes it a little difficult since the rest of us are in the States.
Yeah. Yeah, because what was it? I thought I was going to be like really bad. Yes, well, I was pretty bad yesterday. College was fun. It was absolutely hilarious. This is what you really should do: is come over here and do my counselling course, because it is absolutely hilarious. All we talk about.
Yeah, I'm not going back to school. I'm done, and I'm staying out.
Oh, this is really hilarious, because all we talk about is Sigmund Freud and sex. That's about it. And a lot of swearing as well. But it's
So
like,
you're in psychology.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, we're ready when you are.
So, have we just been recording this the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let Tommy edit it.
I don't think he's going to edit it. He usually just splices them together.
All right.
The most he'll do is make a note when he's recording and say, cut out the last 5 minutes or something.
All right. So, you listen as the soft clanging gets louder and louder. And Aiden, suddenly when you look down these tunnels with your glow rod, in several of them, you suddenly see your glow rod's light reflected back in your face by two very oblong ovals in each of the tunnels.
They look like droids or just...
As you're wondering that, you suddenly hear in a metallic voice in several directions in that same Huttese dialect, "Intruders detected." And suddenly the ovals just shoot at you. And in the dim light, after they get close enough that you're not somewhat blinded by the light, you can see that they're actually long, kind of segmented worm-like droids that are quickly just sneaking down the tunnels towards you. Roll initiative.
Yeah. I figured that was happening.
Yeah.
I imagine this is cool since we saw them coming from a distance and heard them.
Oh.
Right. Ignoring the threat, that's a 4.2 for Vanris.
I didn't get an answer to this. Was cool or no?
I'm doing vigilance.
Yeah. The thing is, it's difficult here because you kind of knew something was coming, but did you exactly know it was going to be something that would attack you?
I mean, we knew we were going to be barred entrance, so we knew we weren't exactly welcome.
All right, yeah, fine. Go ahead and roll cool. I have a feeling, regardless of what you roll, you're probably going to roll better than these droids.
Fair enough. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll take it. To think I don't have any like rapid reaction or anything.
All right, both of you guys get to go before the droids. There is 6 of them, each coming from basically a different direction. All have at this point, after darting towards you, are actually engaged, just like a couple of feet away from you.
So they're all right in front of me. Okay.
Well, no, not all. They're from several directions. It's like you probably have 2 in front of you coming through 2 separate tunnels. Venris sees 3 coming through another 3 tunnels, and then
I meant
one.
like they're all in engaged range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it one big group, I guess? Mechanically speaking?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Venris turns and goes to Aiden's back, and she'll say, "This is the best way to take these down, back to back." And she will aim at one, and she will shoot.
All right. No. It's your rifle.
No, she has her heavy blaster pistol out.
Okay, so that's ranged light, adding another difficulty. All right, go ahead and fire.
Okay. Here we go.
That appears to be a hit.
Yes.
Yeah, 10 damage with a triumph. Where the heck did I put my...
I assume you're critting with it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So let me get the damage in first before I knock one off. Okay, so that's 10 damage. Okay, yeah. So you're able to look down two of the vents and just go pow pow, just hitting them right in the face, and they just stop squirming.
Right.
Okay. So I'll have both of my pistols and do a similar pew pew. However, I do not get the difficulty increase from the engaged because of my close combat talent.
All right.
And I will aim once. I got the boost. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna flip. Why not?
Okay. So let me take the strain, and then it's a new encounter. Second wind, down to 1.
And as a group of the droids suddenly sneak up the passageways and try to attack Aiden,
he scrolls down to his weapon, which is on a different tab, so he has to switch tabs first. So hold on. Go.
Wow.
Show off.
I feel like that should have had an additional difficulty on it, because I used both.
Well,
weapons.
you said it. Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
used. Well, then I'll just roll 1 purple. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna. Yeah.
Oh no, you lose 1 advantage. You have 10. You have 10 advantage now. 9 advantage. Huh.
So the first shot is let's see, 10 pierce 1. Oh, I forgot a boost from accurate too. Just in case it matters.
I'll go ahead and roll it. Maybe you get that advantage back.
Well, make sure the difficulty's gone. You know.
Yeah, it's all gone. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I didn't click off the box.
Okay.
2 advantage.
All right.
Now you have 11 advantage.
All right. So yeah, 10 pierce 1, and 12 actually because I hit with both pistols, because that adds the other gun adds an advantage too when I hit with it. So I'll crit with both of them, and then I also have a triumph. And more advantage that I don't know what to do with. I'll get the strain back because.
Okay, so give me your damage first for both weapons.
Okay. So first one is 10 pierce 1.
Okay, got that.
Second one is 13 pierce 3.
Okay. So Aiden just Demarest might be impressed. He just pulls out both pistols and almost with only just using his peripheral vision, bang, 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 bang. All the droids dead.
Yeah, so you can shoot, but don't impress me much.
I wasn't trying to impress you. I was just trying to take out the droids. Can I use the triumph as a means of maybe taking them out in a way that doesn't completely destroy them, just to appease the Hutts watching?
Okay, yeah, you aim for one of the gaps in their segments and shoot that instead, and that kind of pops the head off, but easily repairable. And in fact, it looks like the rest of it is still squirming a bit, like if you cut off a worm.
It's kind of disturbing, actually. But
Okay.
In fact, because and here's your triumph coming into play. I forgot to mention, and because you table them like that, you it's hard to convey this to you without kind of getting metagaming, but you can figure that you destroyed them so quickly they weren't able to report back in. So
like you figure, like I figured maybe just from the general reaction time of these kind of droids, maybe.
Yeah, reinforcement should have shown up, but they didn't.
Yeah. All right, I think I cut them off here, so the rest of them, if there are any more, won't be coming right away at least.
Let's see what we can use to see if we can trigger some doors.
Yeah, we'll head down the corridor further, stealthily.
Well, no, you're not in the corridor. You're pretty much like in maintenance, but like in the Jeffries.
Like
tubes.
the maintenance corridor. What I mean, like it's a maintenance corridor now.
Better yet, let's have a look up.
Or at least that's how I'm choosing to describe it.
Well, the thing is, you're like in a central nexus. It looks like this is where the droids come to if they want to go outside.
Oh, this is
so you're kind of like
yeah, that's true.
You're kind of like in the central area with a bunch of vents, with a bunch of corridors, kind of spiderwebbing outward.
Okay. Let me take a look around and see what looks like it might be a good way to go for what we're looking for. I'm not even sure. Like we can intuit some kind of, it's this way. The air smells less foul, like or something.
Yeah, I'm just wondering which skill would probably be best to formulate that sort of intuition.
Perception, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably a nice compromise between all the ideas I was having.
Can Venris look at the tunnels where those droids were coming out of?
Yeah, that's probably a good way to intuit it as well.
Well, they were coming from several different tunnels.
Oh.
I assume you just want to look at each one.
We'll look around the general hub, I would think, and then just see which way seems the most appropriate, right?
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I've set the difficulty for a perception check.
Okay. Take an unskill boost from Aiden. And you shouldn't have any darkness setbacks because of the glow rod.
And they will believe in a thing called love.
Or you still do. Is it that dark? Oh, it's just dim. Or is that something else?
That's not because of the darkness, it's because of the architecture.
Gotcha.
Like,
just foreign looking.
You've never been in like a gas mining facility. You wouldn't know what to look for.
That's fair.
Like intuitive direction. So this is kind of that coming into play.
Okay, so just two.
So I'll say Venris kind of eventually points in a direction, but you're not even entirely sure where the heck that might go. Like you get this is probably a direction you get more airflow in, but you're not entirely sure if airflow actually means anything good in a place like this.
Because we're still in our suits, so
yeah. I mean, I'm sure we would get some indication of there is air coming in from here, but
well, yeah, you can just get like dust particles.
Yeah. All right. Oh, we'll head that way then. Seeing no other relevant information. Can we head stealthily?
Yes. Let me go ahead and set the difficulty for stealth check.
Yep.
You will have a setback because your spacesuits are big and bulky.
Okay.
And be the vigilance. Okay.
Oh, is stealth actually not one of my career skills? I thought like pretty much everything that required agility was a career skill for me. No, it's not. Wow. Okay.
All right. I have set the difficulty for stealth checks. You may stealth when ready.
All right.
You may fire when ready.
Just to give the potential for a triumph.
Yeah, I'm going to do that as well.
This looks like an opportunity for a second chances. I'm gonna go for the yellow and pick a green that only has one advantage on it.
All right. Resetting dice pool. You're clear.
Aha! One success.
All right.
Although I had
Aiden
two
is
failures,
hidden.
so actually no, it doesn't matter.
All right.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, you don't.
Lots of advantage.
Okay, so you get down the corridor and you go for a bit of a distance until you end up. You see finally a couple of actually ventilation ducts. No, not ducts. The covers. So you actually see into what appear to be corridors. And of course, you figure it's probably better to go along actual corridors than in the ducts because who knows where all the ducts go.
Yeah, they could go out to some place completely inhospitable. So
yeah. So you gently open the duct, slide out, but because of the height you are from the floor, you have to actually jump out. And because you're heavier, when you land, there's a bit of a clang, 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 echoing down the corridor.
So much for stealth.
However, before you can try and tune your audio receptors in the suit to hear anything coming, you see in front of you, hey, there's a map.
Oh. Like a you are here kind of thing? Or like a what?
In fact, yeah, you can see that it's a general, not schematic, because who just has that on the wall, but it does seem like there's a directory of positions. Again, written in the
It's
older
like a mall
copies.
directory. Just
You can see it's listed in several areas like control room, main receptacles.
Engineering.
Yeah. And then you actually see something odd is that kind of in the very heart of the facility is charging chamber. But you see in a couple of other places there are charging stations that seem to be specifically mentioned for the droid. So this seems something different from that.
maybe it's charging the station. Or the station's charging something else, but if we did say that energy was flowing, because we detected the energy flowing from the station, right? Not to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this could actually be a weapon.
Or something, or just a gravity well generator in there. This place does have abnormally strong gravity. So what were the other notable places other than the charging chamber? Sorry.
Let me type them out for
Sure.
all of our benefits.
Vendors, do you think we should split up?
No.
Okay. Just to cover more ground.
Those are the three things that you see have like the biggest importance. Everything else seems to be sort of minor.
Okay.
Right. Go to the control room first.
Yeah, because the control room might help us. We might be able to do something for about the pumping and/or charging stations from the control room. So
Plus, there could be some logs in there.
yeah, agreed. And since you can apparently understand it much better than I can, this should be a good place to head first.
Yeah.
And as you make that decision, you turn around to see that two kind of weird. They're different from the droids you encountered before, but they're still droids. It's almost like they're droid huts, but they're not fat. It's like they're on a snake-like movement system, but then they come up to a more humanoid figure, and that humanoid figure is holding a gun.
All right. Since there's a gun in my hand also, it will be trained on it. That's for sure.
Fenris will...
But it hasn't made a move to attack yet, right? Or is it just...
No, it's still coming up to you.
Venris will actually speak in Old Huttese.
You okay?
Nope, joking. No, so what are you saying?
We mean you no harm. Obviously,
My gun is on it in a defensive measure. So
Yeah.
I'm not like lining up a shot, but I'm covering just in case.
So as you do that, does Venris have her weapon out, or is she kind of maybe hands up? Just to...
Aiden's is kind of like at his belt. Like it's not like out in front of him. It's just kind of like he's ready to fire.
it's in her hand. Well, she will actually holster it.
Okay. So when you say that, one of the droids remains in front of you, a few feet away, about short, like the border between short and engaged, while the other one kind of actually moves around a bit of a wide berth to get at your backs or behind you. You of course don't have to let it point a gun at your backs. And the one that is in front of you says, "Intruders, you shall be incarcerated for violating the Vortigern property."
And Venris will translate.
Aiden will tell Venris to kind of pass this message on, since he speaks Huttese, but not Old Huttese in the sense, because it's speaking in Old Huttese, right?
Yeah.
So he'll say, can you pass on this message? We're here on behalf of several Hutt clans.
Yeah, she will say we are on behalf of several Hutt clans. Were we given anything?
We weren't giving anything to prove anything, no. We were just sent. All our proof went in the cup thing at the beginning. In the goblet of fire there.
When you say that, their guns, like they start leveling their guns at you. Like they were just pointing at you before, but kind of in a relaxed posture, but now they're putting the stocks to their shoulders and all that.
Oh,
Who
shit.
do you represent?
Should we just say Basadi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does not compute.
No, their eyes flare red. Traitors! And they open fire.
Oh,
Okay. Now, this is totally cool.
They are going to get an opening shot. One's going to shoot Aiden, the other one's going to shoot Vanris. Do you have any ranged defenses?
Aiden has one range defense and he is dodging.
She has
Twice.
2 ranged defense.
Okay. Doing Aiden first.
Aiden is double dodging, so.
Okay.
This is their free strike.
Yep. Where did I frickin' put that stat block? That's what happens when you have a massive campaign. You lose all the NPCs.
I have a separate
Jams
tab.
at home. Have a nice sorting system for your stuff.
Oh yeah, that's one of the hardest things about Roll20 is remembering to sort things.
Yeah. All right. So this is a shot against. Oh, and you said you were dodging twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That changes things. Adds a purple. Why didn't I just upgrade it? That makes things so much easier.
Well, it's a double upgrade is what it is. Or you mean you're working on...
I was trying to work that out in my head by just putting on reds, but no, I forgot. Hey, Roll20 lets me just put in the upgrades.
It's a nice feature.
All right. Well, unfortunately for you, didn't help.
Wow, okay.
Anything goes down.
All right. So that's actually damage 12.
12.
Yeah. They have rifles.
Ow. Okay, well, I have 5 soak. So that's 6 more for me. Oof, I am 1 shy of my threshold.
Okay, so as it fires, you notice that the barrel immediately starts smoking. Like you can figure, hey, this gun probably hasn't been fired in forever. But unfortunately, because he had a point blank shot, he is going to crit.
Okay. And it's not plus anything, right?
Yeah, you heal temporarily lane, so it's not. Yeah, no vicious
I
or
just meant, yeah, there's no vicious or anything. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, just straight roll.
Okay. Let me get rid of that offset that was still in there from last time. Don't need that.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait, I completely forgot. It's a critical roll. It doesn't care about the difficulty.
Fearsome wound. Oh no, my presence and willpower checks. All of those.
Hope you don't try to coerce these droids or charm them. All right, Vanris, you have 2 range defense.
Yes.
Okay. I'm also going to flip again for this.
Can I flip back?
There was one
you
there.
have a spare. Yeah, you can flip the light that was already there. All right. Do you have anything that would, aside from the defense, do you have anything that would change as a roll? Like dodge?
No.
Okay. All right. Only 10 damage on Vanris, but this one is also going to crit.
Actually, that'd be 5 because she has a soak of 5.
All right. So that's
5 damage to her.
yeah, 5 damage and then the crit.
All right. Critical injury.
Oh, it occurs to me I had durable. I could reduce that. Let me check if I want to reduce that, actually. I mean, well, that one is pretty benign. I just want to see.
Oh, you have 1 rank of durable?
Yeah.
What was it? What was the
52.
number?
So 40.
52, so 42 balled over. You're not prone. It's a strain.
I will take that.
All right. Meanwhile, Vanris gets hamstrung, losing her free maneuver. So
that wouldn't add a difficulty to initiative, right? Because initiative's kind of a special check anyway, right?
Well, I don't think this is. Oh, actually,
because it's a presence check.
That is very.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if it's vigilance, that's willpower.
Yeah.
I actually almost think it would. Maybe because you just got shot. Maybe you're going to be a bit slower on the draw.
I guess. Yeah.
And this one,
I think it applies. That's something I want to look into, but I think
because
right
if
now
only
it applies
because like the initiative button like specifically doesn't use any difficulty. It's part of it.
But yeah. Well, you can add this. I can add it to GM dice pool. I think that tags it in initiative. So yeah, go ahead. Dan, go ahead and roll initiative for Aiden, and I'll take it off for Vanris.
Okay. Nope. Didn't add it.
What the hell?
I mean, initiative is a special check anyway. It's not supposed to have difficulty.
It's okay. So 3.3.
Yeah.
Didn't really change that much. All right, now Vanris can roll.
Okay.
No, she could have rolled anyway.
What are we doing? Cool
Initiative.
or vigilance?
It's cool. They've shot you.
And also, it was pretty clear they were going to anyway, even if they hadn't already.
All right, so now it's the droid's turn. Oh, one of them rolled pretty well, but both of you guys go first.
Okay. Can
Aiden go first? He's a little pissed off. And
what,
also...
But you're on your ass.
No, I'm not. No, I'm still standing. Just a little... what was it? Head ringer? Is that what it was? No, fearsome wound. I have a fearsome wound, but I'm fine. So step 1, 2 maneuvers to take out Stimpack and use Stimpack.
All right.
Up to 13 wounds. I'd love to be able to like fully heal at some point, but you know. Yeah, firing at one of these with stun bolts, I suppose, where it's short, right?
All right. It's a. Oh, jeez. I'm not choking anymore. Now I just have crap in my throat. All right. You're still in short range, but you're dual wielding, so that adds another difficulty. This thing does have range defense, and it has adversary 1. All right. It will do set.
Okay, and go. Yep. So that is 13, 14 pierce 1 for the first shot.
All right.
And believe 17 pierce 1 for the second with an extra advantage, so I'll get 1 strain back because why not? And
All right.
if it's still up, I'll crit it.
All right, it's not up.
Okay.
It survived the one blast relatively well, but then you came with the second one and kind of just popped it in the back of the neck.
Yeah, and these were stun shots, so it's fully intact. But
sparks flash all over it before it just. All right, Vanris.
Can she, like, bum rush it, get it off its feet?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that'd be. I'd either say brawl or athletics. I'd say athletics if you're physically trying to knock it prone.
Yep.
Oh, and as a new encounter, I'm also going to use a second wind, get my strain back.
All right,
down to 0.
This is going to be a competitive athletics check. Right. Let me just set this up. I think adversary still counts. Okay, there you go. Difficulty set for athletics.
Okay.
All right. So you actually do force it to the ground, but as you do so, its tail actually whips around and wraps around your leg. So it's going to inflict a setback on your move. Yep.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. So you're both engaged with each other on the floor. How adorable. All right. It's that one's turn now. It's actually going to try and use its tail and choke you. Since you've knocked it prone, it probably can't get a good shot at Aiden or you. I'd say this is going to be a brawl check. Do you have any melee defenses?
I have 1, and bear with me. I also have defensive stance.
You need to spend maneuver to do that on your turn.
All right. Okay.
All right, I'll flip a destiny point to say it definitely wants to capture this traitor to its loyal masters. All right, it succeeds. Let's see, the tail +2. So it does 6 damage.
Okay, that'll be 1 damage.
And for the threat, I'd say because it did so little damage, you aren't going to have to deal with a setback when you make your next turn because you can now easily wriggle out of the grip since it had to loosen it to get around your chest.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to use my combat knife, and I forgot to actually type in the name of this.
The knife is perfectly fine placeholder.
Because she actually took it anyway. And she is going to try and get it where she can actually cut off its motor functions. You know, side of the head or something like that.
She's trying to precision aim?
Yeah, I'd say that's a sort of a called shot thing, so setback. All right, difficulty set.
Okay. I'm going to use one of those, and here we go. Right. Actually, I used the wrong weapon. I do apologize. Clicked the wrong weapon by mistake.
But those checks, oh no, it wouldn't be. No, because it's a rifle.
No, because it's a rifle. I do
so
apologize.
Just
Ah, crap.
All right. So unfortunately, the knife can't seem to get past the armor it has around its brain. But for the 3 advantage, I'll say you actually, in order to get at the brain, you kind of flip around it to get on its back. So if Aiden wants to take a shot, he doesn't have to worry about hitting you.
Did she do some significant damage to it already?
She's done no damage.
No damage.
She forced it prone and then failed her attack.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna throw one of my vibro knives at it to finish it off, but I guess I'll just shoot it then.
All right.
She's effectively no longer engaged then from that. Is what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, if you hit a despair, you're not going to hit her, basically. Right. So let me just set this back down. All right.
Still short, right?
Oh wait, are you dual wielding again, or just
shooting?
Okay, double set then.
Just in case, because it survived one shot before, and that was a good shot. So. All right. Let me just. Actually, I'm gonna aim. And I think I forgot my accurate last time, so I should have had a boost last time.
Oh Lord!
Shoot it!
Yep, shooting it, and go. And that was not what I meant to roll. Ignore that one. I hit the pool instead of the weapon. There we go.
Oh geez, can we move that the dice pool failures down to this one? 3 failures instead of 1. All right. Give me your damage. I mean, just on the first one, that's 13.
Yeah, so 13 pierce 1 and 16 pierce 2. Pierce 3, I mean. And I can crit on one of them.
13 pierce 3 on the second?
Yeah.
Okay. That... Oh, hold on. I didn't do that math right. All right. The droid is actually still up.
So out of both those shots? They were good shots. Okay.
I mean, I did... Okay, hold on. Let me double check.
So I'm pretty sure they were like the same amount of damage, or maybe
the first shot was
13 pierce 1.
13 pierce 1. Okay, yep. I got that.
Second one was 16 pierce 3.
16 pierce 3. Okay, yeah, I did the math wrong on the second one. Yeah,
my second blaster is 3 better than the first one.
That killed. It was only up by 1, so I don't even have to redo the math. The
Yeah.
damage was so far off that it's dead. Zoop, zoop, zzz. Sparks fly all over the head. Dare was trying to stab, and it just falls down limp.
And again, stun shots. So
she takes.
Yeah, I mean it's still entirely in one piece, but it's somewhat fried.
Takes the tail off around her throat. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And she coughs a bit.
Shall we keep moving?
Yeah.
Off to the control room.
Yeah.
Perhaps stealthily again? I don't know if it matters at this point, but
At
the very least.
Okay, she pulls her blaster pistol out. Obviously, she's left her rifle on the ship. And you indicate...
Weren't you using the rifle when you were... I'm sorry, weren't you using the rifle when you were fighting those droids in that first corridor, though?
No, I was using the blaster pistol.
She was using the pistol.
Okay. Fuzzy memory. All right, you are going to have a couple more setback because they've, the combat is, of course, now alerted more than just that immediate area.
Yeah, but the worst case scenario is we're trying to be stealthy and we fail versus not trying to be stealthy and also fail to be stealthy.
All right.
Or better yet, we could not be stealthy but succeed.
Yeah.
She'll say indicate to Aiden to go on one side of the
I mean, how wide is this
corridor? Yeah,
like standard width?
Well, I'd say 8 to 10 feet wide.
Yeah, the size of an average hut.
Yeah, it's certainly a hut in his hover sled to ride down comfortably.
All right, so we'll do our best to remain quiet and inconspicuous. So
all right.
She has her back to the wall, and
I've flipped twice to upgrade for upgrade for both of you.
Oof. I will flip once just so I have a chance of a triumph. And that's all we can do. We can't do it again. So.
Yep. The difficulty is set.
What are we doing? Stealth or what? Sorry.
Yep. Ooh.
Yeah, stealth.
I can't cover for you, but it's progress. Nope.
Man. She's just coughing, still trying to get the air back into her lungs.
All right. So you guys arrive at a large door. Again, this door is probably about as wide as the corridor, but it's not covering the corridor. It's to the side of the wall, and it has control room emblazoned on that old Huttese dialect. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, as you walk up to it, there's a loud whoop, whoop, whoop. Three chime klaxon goes off as Vanris approaches the door, and you suddenly see a large panel slide in over the door. Blast door.
Okay.
Slam shut.
Do we see a panel or anything nearby?
You do. As you approach, though, it looks like a metal cover is also folded over it as well.
Does Vanris have any capacity for mechanics?
Yes.
Let's see it. Aiden will.
Did you bring your toolkit with you?
Yes.
All right.
Aiden will unskilled assist. He'll hold the glow rod up to it.
All right.
Okay, so 2 boosts.
All right. I've set the difficulty for your mechanics check.
Okay.
Aha!
All right.
hang on.
You are able.
Sorry, I remove the green die.
All right. Yeah. So you still 3 successes. I know 4 successes, and still. You're fine. No advantage, but you're fine. You're able to cut around the frame of the panel to knock off the plate that's slid into place. And after waiting a couple of moments for the side walls of the panel to cool down, the panel's now accessible. It's reading. There's a slight red twinged print reading across the top. Intruders detected. Full lockdown initiated.
Can we bypass that? Potentially with more mechanics? Hotwire the door, so to speak?
Yeah, you can either do mechanics to hack the door or mechanics to slide into the door, but mechanics will certainly take longer. Nothing else.
Just
Unless she has some computer's ability.
No. Watch my back.
Yep, we'll do.
All right.
Again with the unskilled assist.
And yeah, in fact, as you start, you still get one more. All right. Mechanics to actually work through the panel to get to the door is going to be a bit more complicated. I'm going to add 2 setback just because you don't quite know what you should cut and what you shouldn't cut.
Red wire, blue wire.
So is Aiden covering her in a sense that you'll be able to fight if any droids show up, or are you covering hers and still giving her assistance?
I will cover her in case droids are fighting, so no boost from Aiden then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So knock that down. But this is going to be the first step. All right. Go
Although
ahead.
she would still have like the light from the glow rod in case that was one of the setbacks.
Yeah, no, it's from the alien system, not from darkness.
Mm-hmm.
When you got into the corridor, there was like emergency lighting, and it's not dark enough to really inhibit anything.
Okay. I'll put the glow rod away then. Still made it, but woof.
Yeah, so you cut through the panel and start finding more the pneumatic switches and all that jazz that's keeping the blast door in place. You start cutting through that.
Another blast door comes in front of that, and if she reverses that, it goes back.
Not nearly. As you start cutting, though, the panel that you slid off to the side, the red twinged wording changes. Intruder alert, security compromised, recalling repair droids.
Oh, crap.
So, Aiden, you start hearing the rustling that you heard back in the tubes.
Repair droids.
As suddenly a couple of repair ducts pop away, and you start seeing it has to be at least 20 of these worm things start coming out of the paneling of the wall and
I'll
start
start
heading towards
fending them off
Vanris.
as best I can.
All right. Because they're single-minded and weren't really expecting you, we're going to have pseudo initiative, but both the PCs go first.
Okay. So I guess I just pop a shot off, right?
Yep. Let me just make sure I get all this math right.
Or multiple shots, I suppose, because I'm using both guns. But yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me. It's not going to be that hard. All right. Go ahead and roll your range attack.
Okay. And I'm aiming first, and bam. Yep. Was that both weapons? Because that doesn't look like both weapons of difficulty.
One purple again. I missed.
Woohoo.
Oh no, 5 advantage now. All right,
So,
so,
yeah,
first weapon has
15 damage, pierce 1 for the first one, and 18 pierce 3 for the second, and I'm critting on each if I need to.
15 pierce 3 for the
Yeah.
second. Okay.
No, the second is 18 pierce 3.
18. So that changes that to. No, that's 20. Okay, yeah. And so, yes, you open fire into the group as it starts to near Vanris, and you take out 4 of them. But there's still at least like 14 still
So
hunting for her.
with the triumph, I actually couldn't crit. I actually couldn't crit twice, just once. With the triumph, can I maybe do something to prevent either more of them from coming or to slow the rest of them down? Actually, instead of critting.
You're starting to figure that these are, repair droids. They come in and try to maintain the facility's current state of readiness. You figure if you can damage something even worse than Venris, they might divert their attention. So for the triumph, I say
Could like one of the shots have hit something critical for the triumph? Because this isn't necessarily just 2 shots, right? Like.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a barrage. I'm just wondering what you would hit aside from that control panel that would be valuable.
Perhaps since we're still in suits.
You know what? Yeah,
maybe like oxygen or something.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are coming out of the ducts, and so you start popping shots off in there, and then you hit something that just starts to glow brightly, and kind of there's almost like a Roman candle effect as just sparks start shooting out of that vent. And suddenly a lot of the worms start to turn around and move away from Vanris.
All right. How many are left?
I will say, however, that
in our direction.
I'd say that take out one group. So there's the damage group and the unhinged group that's still heading for Vanris. You got rid of most of one group. But there's still another group that's still heading for her.
Okay.
It's Vanris's turn.
She's gonna carry on with the
keep mechanics
open. Yeah.
Right.
Science harder.
You've now found a bit of a complex network of wires that you need to send a false charge through to kind of convince the blast door to open, kind of bypassing the instructions it receives. So this is going to be a bit harder than just simply cutting into the door.
Okay.
So I'm adding a setback, basically.
Okay.
And I'm also going to flip.
And I'm going to flip back.
All right. Your difficulty set.
Okay. 1 upgrade. And here we go. Oh, crap.
So that's a no.
All right. Unfortunately, I'd say...
You didn't put your boost on there for the tools, by the way.
Oh, damn.
No. She wasn't supposed to, since I've been doing that.
Oh.
That nails it, but it's still a failure with 2 threat.
Still,
so I actually say
better.
you didn't destroy your efforts, but you didn't make any progress. And in fact, I'd say you probably cut something that's going to divert some of the some of the guys that were coming for what 8 damage back to you. So instead of completely getting one group out of the combat, I'll say actually one minion from that group breaks off again to head back towards Fenris.
Does he join with the other group just for simplicity's sake?
You know what? Since you turned one group to just one of them left, I'd say that group becomes 2 again. So yeah.
Whatever you're doing, you're doing it wrong. If you think you can do better,
I'm shooting the guys. I don't know what you want me to do.
No, I was putting words in your mouth.
All right, so Group 1 Worm is attacking Vanris. Melee defenses?
1.
All right. Unfortunately, they are able. You feel two segmented pieces start to wrap around your legs again, but then all of a sudden you feel like this hard jolt suddenly shoot through your system. So you are going to take. Let's see here. What's the success?
For that threat that it had there, could that maybe give her a boost or something on the mechanics check? Maybe it jolted into the system too.
Sure. Yeah, you'll have a boost to your next check, but you're also going to take 7 strain damage.
7. Does that go through soak?
Yeah, you can use soak.
Okay.
All right, Group 2.
But yeah, he meant it doesn't go through soak.
No.
Yeah.
You apply. Oh, we have to come up with some common terminology for that shit. Just go through soak. Can you use soak? Does soak apply? Anyway. Oh Lord.
I just wanted to clarify. I wasn't sure how she took it. So.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
So confusing. Anyway.
So is that top of the round again?
No. One more group still gets to go.
Oh yeah.
We had the 2, and then here's the full 1. All right. Could be worse.
And is that against me?
No, that's against Vanris still. Like I said, you basically took an entire mini group out of the combat by having them focus on another repair job, and then one kind of came back. So we now have like a group of 2, and then another larger group still attacking Vanris. This is the second group. The second group.
So they're all just ignoring me, apparently.
Yes. Like these are repair droids, so currently they don't quite care. This one does 9 strain damage to Vanris. Again, you can apply soak, but for the triumph, I'm gonna say they partially restrain you. This is gonna pass an upgrade against you in your next mechanics check because now they're making it harder for you to move.
Okay.
Because you now have like 8 of these things suddenly trying to wrap around you.
So when it gets back around to my turn again, can I like focus all my fire on the spot that was sparking before and try to make it like super, super terrible?
Get them off!
Yes, but that is of course going to increase the chance that something problematic for both of you is also going to happen. You keep compromising the situation for them. So you can do it, but there are going to be upgrades.
Yep, just trying to draw them all away because there's a lot of them, and I could take them out, but it would take it would take a while, All
right. There's going to be a standard range penalty, but I'm also going to add 2 setback because the repair droids are like in the way. And then I'm going to add, let's see here, what's a good?
So I will say I'm going to test doing a minus setback on the modifiers on the weapon. So I don't know if it'll work. So if there's still a because I have a minus setback on my gun. So if the setback is not removed, then we'll just take 1 off the result.
Okay. So only 1 should be taken off?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're still willing?
I'm going to say, for the purposes of this, no. I mean, I'm just trying to... I'm doing a call shot, basically, to try to, to do damage to a very specific spot and make that one thing worse without potentially making everything else worse. You know what I mean? Without causing catastrophic damage elsewhere.
Oh,
I'm doing 2 maneuvers.
Okay.
I'll put it in myself.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's managing all
I feel like the difficulty modifiers, like anything from the player should put in, and the GM just puts the base stuff. I would think.
All right. It's all in on my end.
Oh, so did you put in the setbacks for that, or am I doing it?
I put in the setback just for the cover of the damage. If
Okay.
there's anything extra you're putting in, then yeah, you go ahead and put it in.
I'll do the called shot one. Yeah. All right. So roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
You said one of. Well, let me just.
Oh yeah, because
so. I gave you 2 setback, and then you added 1 because you took the double maneuver for the called shot, right? So one of these should have been taken off. So one of them rolled blank anyway. Yeah, so go ahead and use second chances.
Okay.
I've nailed it.
I'm gonna re-roll since I have so many advantage. I'm gonna re-roll those 2 yellows.
The 2 yellows that were single advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 advantage now.
Aha!
All right. So you do that, and now what was once like a Roman candle of sparks is now an open flame. That seems to, and that you can see that the glow of red comes over several of those ventilation covers. And okay, and I'll say for that, given your deftness of advantage, and like 7 of those worms start unfurling themselves from Dara and start wheeling back. I will say there are a couple that still on the robot, so the upgrade is still going to apply, but now that mini group is also taken out of the combat.
Do you mean Fenris?
I said Vanris, didn't I?
You said Dara.
Yes, they're off Vanris, and you know what? Dara can also sleep soundly. She didn't have any nightmares about any weird robot worms encircling her. All right. Anyway, Vanris can now roll her next mechanics check. It's going to have the same difficulty as before.
Right. Okay.
But you are going to get a boost. I'll add that.
Because I've got 1 boost from my mechanic from my toolkit.
Yes.
And
you have 2 boosts. 1 from the toolkit and 1 from the shock.
Yeah, because I've already put that one in as well. And I'm going to upgrade. Okay, so here we go.
Man.
Actually, I thought you said you put in that boost. It's not there. It's only 1.
I put 2 boosts in there. Do I need to put spaces between them?
Yeah, there has to be. Well, you can just do 2B, but.
Okay, you succeeded.
Hooray!
Added it. I will say the threat is probably some aftershock. Like it bounces back onto you again, and you take 3 strain. However, for the success and the triumph, I will say that the charge was enough to not only open the blast door, but it took the regular door off with it. So as it peels back, you hear some metal grating and straining as all of a sudden you see half of that door kind of pull away when the blast door goes away as well.
Cool.
All right, so the way the control room's open, you just got 2 worms left to deal with.
Also, they get to do their thing then, I assume.
No, it's Aiden's turn. They went. Oh, actually, no. You're right. You spent your turn increasing the damage. They do get to go. You're right. Right. Banner's is shocked. Nope. They weren't able to find purchase like they did before. They get stacked in your clothes.
Yeah, they just kneel out entirely.
All right. Now, will Aiden try shooting?
Aiden will give Vanris the chance to get revenge on them first, and potentially back away.
How big are these things anyway?
They're probably about as long as your arm and just a bit thicker. As long as my arm's maybe 3 feet long.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to use a combat knife.
All right. I'm gonna add setback just because it's awkward to stab stuff that's trying to encircle itself around you, and then I'm also going to upgrade it because you're technically fighting something that's engaged. All right. Yeah. All right. The difficulty's set. You're good to go.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, so that's 4 damage. Actually, any pierce?
Actually, modifiers, it actually gets +1 damage mod
Okay.
for a knife.
Well, I mean, that's kind of.
What's Vanris's? Okay, hold on. Vanris's bond is obviously 3, so it's 4, then 5.
So you
Okay.
put 1 less damage than you should have on the stat for the weapon, though, and that's all. Yeah.
All right. You kind of nick one of the eyeballs of one of the droids, but they seem almost unaffected by your attack.
Okay. So if you have maneuvers left, which I assume you do, you should probably back up.
Yeah.
Well, they're on her. You can't get away from
them. Get these off me!
All right. Aiden will pull out his vibro knives and attack them.
All right. No setback because you're not having to kind of awkwardly try to stab something yourself, but there's still the upgrade of hitting someone in melee, of hitting friendlies. Oh, wait. Actually, no. That doesn't apply, does it?
It's not a melee thing. Yeah.
You're correct. Anyway, difficulty is now properly set.
Okay. Let me up my strain because there is strain for that. Do it.
I almost feel like this should be an exception because they're like literally on her. It's not like they're dueling with her. Oh well.
They are a part of her.
Okay, and my brawn is awful, so we'll see how this goes.
Oh god.
Worst case scenario, nothing important happens. I'm gonna just try to shake them off next round if this doesn't work.
We could just pull them off.
Nope.
All right, unfortunately, they have too tight a grip, and Aiden does not want to stab Vanris. He is a good man like that.
Yeah, if they were like on the ground, I would have thrown them. But
all right. It is going to be an athletics or brawl check to actually pull these things off of you, or off of Vanris if Aiden wants to try.
They're not attacking, I assume, or whatever they're doing.
Well, no. Oh, sorry. You are correct. You have both gone. They will try to attack her again.
1 melee defense.
All right. Nope. It looks like they're too distracted by being stabbed at that they just can't get their teeth back into you.
All right. How about this? I want to yank them off of her and throw them into the fire.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. This is going to be I guess it'd just be a competitive athletics check or brawl check. So yeah, difficulty set. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip because why the hell not?
Okay. Again, with Aiden's stats being awful for this, but let's find out. Brawl, you said?
Or athletics. I mean, if that doesn't change anything, then yeah.
Nope, doesn't change anything, but I'll roll athletics anyway. Ah!
All right. So you do that. You pull both of them off, hold them by the tail, and then just throw them into the vent where you started the fire, and they explode. I'd say it's just 2 threats. So there's just like a big coating. You suddenly are engulfed in fire for a moment, and it's like, oh shit, what did I do before the fire recedes? So just take 2 strain.
Okay.
It looked a lot.
They exploded.
It looked a lot.
In a big flash of flame. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah, it looked a lot worse than it ended up being, and it was almost like an oh shit, what'd I do?
All right. Strain recovery checks, potentially. The combat is over.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, you probably go inside the control room and there's like
just take a second, like, man, that was
I need a minute. All right. I didn't put any difficulty up, so yeah, just go ahead and roll discipline or cool.
Cool as a cucumber. Oh, look at that. And I have at least 1 rank of rapid recovery, so I think I'm good. Let me see, how many ranks do I have of that, actually? I have 4. Okay. That's really good. Holy crap. I never realized I had that many ranks of that. I just took whatever was incidentally on the way to everything else.
I'm going to hit myself with a stim pack.
I would if it wouldn't only give me 3 right now, I think.
All right.
Also, I want to
You're
save some
now
for
in-
later.
You're now in the still control room. It's somewhat small, probably smaller than you think for a facility that seems to do so much. They're about probably just 5 consoles all in a semicircle with just giant. You go up and poke them, it's like they're couches, like almost weird jelly beanbag chairs that seem perfect for a hut to like just slither onto and relax as they
And they're
work.
like massive, right? They're like yeah.
Oh yeah, they're huge. In fact, these are so big you'd think that one would just almost completely swallow up Zevo.
Wow. I mean, I know he's like not huge for a hut, but yeah.
He's very muscular.
Yeah.
Like these things are made for. Geez, Silhouette 2 almost seems conservative.
Wow. That's impressive. All right, so let's see if we can get from the controls here.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, both of you,
Individually?
just to see what you can. Yeah, just to see what you glean off the readouts that are already there.
All right.
Intruder alert.
Ah. Were those setbacks supposed to be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, just because of both the old dialect and the fact that these consoles don't appear to be in the best condition.
And
All right,
then since this is in older dialect, I wouldn't get the setback.
Well, it's a combination of problems. One of them being the older dialect. It's not that it wouldn't negate it. It's just that's some of the flavor behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vanris, unfortunately, as you touch a panel, no, I don't want to be that generic. I just did that with the mechanics thing. I'll be a bit more complicated with that in a sec. As you both read it, you see that there is one readout that says long-range scanners violated, intruders detected, exterior, interior. So that's sort of vague. You don't quite get what that means.
Oh, I mean,
Aiden
the ship's on the surface and we're inside. But yeah. Anyway.
Aiden, however, reads, aside from a couple of the intruder alerts, that there is one readout on the central console that just keeps repeating over and over and over again, but it's in that sort of flashing red that makes it seem like it's even more crucial than the intruder alert.
So
like
you point out the
connection-
banner so she can decipher. But yeah.
Yeah. Vanris reads that it says connection to Narvatol severed, connection to Narvatol severed, connection to Narvatol severed, connection to
Narvatol is a name of something, I assume?
Given the fact that it doesn't translate, you assume it is a proper noun, and Vanris translates it as the refuge.
Interesting. Can we gain any more information about this Narvatol?
That would require a computer's check. Or education, since you could technically try and use the consoles to research it.
Vanris, go ahead.
Would-
Here, I'll
would
give you
it-
an unskill boost.
Would it be able to engage a vocal connection?
Like just take voice
What do you
commands?
mean by?
Yeah, voice commands.
I mean, probably. The Hutts didn't like using their hands. I assume that's probably just a switch you can flip, but it's still going to be a check to actually do what you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to charm the computer into giving you anything. Unless there was an AI on there or something.
Life forms.
Alright, so
Quote Star Trek Generations one more time, and I'm ending this session. I swear to God.
Oh, come on, it's only once.
I know. Don't do it twice.
you've crossed him once, that you get your one. That's it.
Yeah. Everybody gets one.
Okay.
All right. It's either education or computers. It's the same difficulty. Just go ahead and do it.
Aiden will unskilled assist Vanris in this.
I'm gonna use an upgrade, and yeah, so here we go.
Actually,
Okay.
hold on.
It's a failure with a triumph. Okay.
Well, I didn't put the boost in. Let's.
Okay.
Okay, that's an advantage. I know that wouldn't have changed the ultimate result, but
Oh, that's
Right.
weird because I've put a boost in on my side and nothing.
I mean, you probably put it in wrong. It's just one B, no space between the one and the B,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll do it.
All right. So you don't quite get in a. Okay, yeah, you don't get what this is, but it gives you a location. It's in the system. It shows you a projection of the system, but you can immediately notice by the fact that there's a blue star in the center.
Yeah.
That hey, this isn't what the system is now. In fact, you can actually see there's about 5 planets circling around this star. The outermost one being this gas giant. When you put in the query for Narvatal, it zeroes in on the 3rd planet from the sun.
And there's no third planet.
Well, there's no first, second, third, or fourth.
Yeah. It looks like aside from the gas giant, all these planets are gone now. But according to this computer's records, Narvatal is something related to this 3rd planet.
Did that correspond? Would we know if that corresponded with one of the things we found earlier?
Given its approximate location, yes. I would say it actually relates most to zoom out. This box in the lower right over here.
That's left.
You are correct. I am more out of it than I think it is. No, it's still this box right here.
Oh, it's still the left one.
It's the left, not the right.
I was correct on the box. I was not correct on the direction.
Okay.
And how much have you drunk today?
Enough to forget about my fucking car troubles.
Fair enough. All right. So I'm thinking there is where we got to look. I don't know how much we'll find on the broken husk of the planet there.
I was going to say, wouldn't there be sensor logs on this station?
We could check for some. When we're in the control room, here's where we would check.
Well, we were already in the control room anyway, so.
Yeah.
All right.
But I think that last check was kind of the same thing, wasn't it?
No, this is a specific query for Narvatal.
Okay.
To actually get sensor logs for the station, that would be a different check. You're accessing something else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
However, because you now have gotten more acquainted with the system, I'm actually just going to make this an easy check to see if you can find the right file. So
check away.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Oh, and I assume Aiden's giving you unskilled assistance.
Yep.
Right.
Put the boost on for that.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. Oh wow.
That was close.
Right. It looks like the station actually is connected to a couple of satellites that aren't even located in orbit around this gas giant. It's located in the system. The responses are
operational.
Some of them. It looks like it has logged several, but like only a couple are still reporting. From that query, you get that they're about an hour ago. And an hour ago was kind of actually when you just got into this facility, there was a massive log of hyperspace entries.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
People are here.
You dial it further and further back, and you see that this station has not had any sensor pings for hundreds of years. In fact, you get about to the probably 700-year mark when it catalogs a massive
event.
Yeah, it would classify this in it's what, because you notice that there's a point where it was giving responses from about a couple of satellites that were really garbled, and then it was getting a response across the system. Perfectly clear, no effect. And at that point, it was actually logging semi-regular hyperspace travel from that 3rd planet out of the system. And actually a bit before the event, there was a giant shift away from the planet, like of several hyperspace pings away from the planet out of the system, and then the event happened, and then it started, and then everything was just still until you guys showed up.
All right. Shall we head out of here and head to the pile of rubble that used to be the planet that we're looking for?
Yeah.
All right. You kind of have to go down the corridor a bit before you can find a maintenance shaft that isn't on fire. But once you get in there, you're able to naturally intuit yourselves. After a little bit, it probably takes you another 30 to 45 minutes to get back to the roof and then back to the top, where the Sunflare is waiting. And hey, when you get there, there is a small, like, kind of metal panel in between the airlock. The shield still has to be run up, but in case it falls down, you don't have to worry about just a complete evacuation of air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get up there, R7's in the cockpit. You can tell by his beeping, he's proud of himself. Snow, little droid.
Aiden will give him a little pat on the head, or on the dome, I guess. But
Beep, woo!
Good work.
And it just reels away. All right, so as you start queuing up the computer, you start seeing that the Sunflare has also detected several of the racers entering the system. However, they have kept. It looks like a couple of them have gotten near the gas giant, but none of them have gotten as close as you have, and
Does it
none
look
of
like
them
any
have
of them are by our-
definitely.
okay, they're not by our target.
You have to get away from the planet first.
Fair enough.
There's too much interference all the way across the system.
Mhm.
All right,
We'll head over there.
Another tough pilot to get clear of the planet.
All right. Co-pilot, please.
Okay.
Great if it worked this time.
Hey, come on.
I mean, the last 3 times, like, you nulled out, I think, so.
All right. Okay.
I'll try and put some light on your side for the piloting check.
That could be helpful, yes.
Okay. You ready for me to roll?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Nope.
Sorry.
I get like a boost at least?
No, she's.
I'll give you 1 for the advantage.
All right.
Aiden's a bit in the zone after watching Banner's.
All right.
I'm a shooter, not a pilot.
That's fine. I just, any little bit helps. All right.
But she will use her brawn to give him a hand.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay. So did you add that boost or should I?
I added it.
Okay. Okay, get those. I flipped, so I'll get an upgrade. And piloting go. Haha.
All right. Well,
That was quite a check, by the way.
Leaves Atmo. Yeah, I mean, you're like on the planet. You have pretty much the full effect of the gravity well.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull away back into orbit where the scanners are a bit clearer, and you're picking up. It looks like there is weapons fire around the area you need to go. You don't know what specifically is around there, but you're detecting the high energy emissions of weapons fire.
Okay.
Is Onyx's ship in the area?
You try to ping the transponder codes and you actually don't get a response.
I think she just meant like look around and see.
Yeah.
No. Visually, no. There's nothing around the gas giant specifically.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
Probably a few of the racers got close to realize this was here, realized their ships would probably be sucked in if they kept in closer, and gave it a wide berth. No one's insane as Aiden.
Aiden's not insane. He's just good.
You can feel a shell hut in the very distance
He's
of all.
also cocky.
Aiden!
Let me guess. I take it Aiden is flying with his feet.
No, he only did that once. That was the last time he went to a planet that had crazy gravity. So
basically, the others are just poking around in the dark.
I'm gonna astrogate over to the our target location.
All right. There's going to be setback not only for the density of the field, but for the distance. Since you kind of have to, you figure. Actually, you know what? I'll do this. You are going to have a few setback because of the distance, but I'll also give you 2 boosts because you know that it will be easier if you go along the flow of the debris field, which will take you kind of basically this way, which is a bit longer, but cutting across the system would be a lot more dangerous.
Because I was going to say, since we're having to go.
I'll take 2 strain to reduce the difficulty ones.
Since we're having to go this way, could we not pop over here before we go?
I don't think we need to worry about that. I mean, we're
there?
pressed for time now. Before we were the only ones here. Right now we're pressed for time. So
Okay.
all right.
But it looks like what we could do is pretend we're actually heading for this one when in fact we're heading.
I mean,
for
maybe
that
the
one.
results can do that. We'll see. Right.
Yeah.
So.
And she's going to give an unskill boost.
All right. I'll add that one unless Jack already did.
Go ahead. I've leaned away from the computer.
Okay.
Take another swig.
So I'm subtracting a difficulty for the for my thing, unless you already did that.
All right. No, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
We all need to learn how to use these rollers.
Wow.
Not bad. I'll take
All right,
it.
you know what? I'll say not only do you have a course, but you have a bit of a plan. When you reach, probably like what Vanders was suggesting, once you reach about here, if you angle the ship just right and give it one good kick in the engines, you can just drift the rest of the way there. And it'll make it look like you're actually heading here, where in reality, you're drifting towards here, which will help you get a stealthy approach.
That works.
All
I'll
right.
take it.
Now to enact this plan, you're going to need another piloting check, which should be relatively easy because of your course. All right. I gave you a couple of boosts.
Does it need a co-piloting? I guess is the question.
I actually didn't put. There's no upgrades because you applied the course so well.
All right.
Okay. Here goes the thingy. Oh, forget that.
No, you didn't have to because there's no upgrades. Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
And also, holy crap, my roll.
Oh God, I thought that was like your previous roll. Yep. So this is what happens. Yeah, you get close to here, and after you get a couple of scan readings, it looks like a couple of the races are parking in this area. You shut off and then just start to drift. But you manage to get such a kick, you drift pretty fast. Like there's, I'm pretty
The gravity's
sure.
slingshotting me over there, and I'm just.
Yeah, not only that, but you're able to use your maneuvering thrusters relatively.
Yeah.
So it's very quiet, and you drift in, and finally get to move to the next page.
We have been here for a while, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you something when we're done with this. It's fun.
Okay. Ooh,
And this is what you see.
that looks rough.
Yep.
So we should scan this thing and visually or otherwise, and
Yeah.
could there be a perception? I assume.
Yeah, perception or computers.
Unskilled assist.
Perception. 1.
Enhanced.
boost.
We're looking for whatever it is we're looking for, a star map of some kind or whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you are like on the outskirts of the. It's hard to say debris field because you're in a debris field already, but the specific like tied to this planet,
This
debris
chunk
field,
of the planet.
yeah, it's gonna be more difficult. It can get easier the further you fly in, but of course you're putting yourself at risk for other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm also going to flip to upgrade.
But it doesn't
Go
take
ahead
that
and
much
roll.
more time to look first and then go in further, so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually going to flip back and I'm going to upgrade this as well. So. Okay. So here we go.
Well,
Interesting.
Yes.
enhance.
Okay, so you haven't detected any ruins or anything that was similar to what you found earlier. However, you do detect there is a large mass of ships and combat around this area.
How the hell did they get here before us? Not before us, but how the hell did they decide to come straight here?
I don't know. By all means, it doesn't make sense.
Your scan of the system picked this area up. You just decided not to go to it.
Yeah.
It could be some others just decide not to, made a different choice than you did.
Choices and consequences.
Signs and portents.
Do we see anything there underneath the, beyond the massive combat, or just nothing at the moment?
You'd have to approach to see.
Okay. Can we approach at like a safe distance so we're not going to get sucked into the combat? Just to.
Yeah, I mean, this is more like a piloting sort of with setback to consider stealth thing.
I was going to say, pretend we're part of the debris. Make our
It could
silhouette
also
a little
just be
bit
a stealth
smaller.
check too.
It's hard to translate that directly into piloting, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it used in the official adventures as just do a stealth check to not be seen. You know.
Yeah, but you're not trying to hide yourself. You're trying to hide your ship.
Oh, I know. I've seen it like in vehicles. Is what I'm saying.
That's really weird. I need to look at these adventures. You know what? Why not test it out? But the thing is, only you can roll for it. You can't.
Yeah,
get
I mean,
even if it's a
my
group
piloting's
check.
better, but I think like for the not being seen part, because like the challenge isn't navigating there, right? It's just being stealthy about it.
Turn the running lights
Relatively,
off.
yeah.
Fold the wings down.
So let me just.
Zivo, turn off all non-essential power, please.
Yeah.
He slaps his tail against a large lever, and all the lights
Is that the
go out.
equivalent of unskilled assist?
Sure.
Thanks, Zivo. I'm gonna flip so there's a chance for triumph, and I'll throw the boost on there unless you did already.
I did.
Okay. And stealth away. Second chances away.
All right, hold on.
I'm gonna do the 2 blank ones. So.
All right.
Aha!
what a change.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you drift in even further, and you see that there is, it looks like one large ship that looks like it belongs to the Outer Rim Survey Corps, a few freighters that you can't really identify, and actually the Pitchfork are engaged in combat over that area. And you actually see beneath them is a complex of buildings, like probably right about here.
Where's here?
I'm pinging it on the map.
I can't see a ping.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I'm sure you don't see like the little small circle though.
No.
No.
That's weird. I thought you could mini ping like that. I didn't know you had to hold it down and force the large one to get people to see it.
Yep.
That is disappointing.
Roll 20. I am disappointed.
Yeah, I am, because this is a lot less intrusive than it's like, oh hey, it's in this giant area.
Well, one thing I might be thinking of. I think you can do like, what is it? Control Shift. No, where's the one you can put like an arrow or something? I might be thinking of.
Or it focuses your attention.
Well, that's like the
Is that
Shift King. I might be thinking of Tabletop Simulator actually.
Well, anyway, basically the dead center of the square, there appears to actually be a complex, and that's probably what they're fighting over.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, it is possible to swing through the debris field into kind of like the open area of the planet and come it from the other side, basically from the bottom up. But that would require some piloting.
So, Vanders, how about some of that co-piloting? Because this looks dangerous.
It is.
I thought you laugh in the face of danger.
I do,
Right,
but I
well,
also like to take whatever I can use to my advantage.
I'm going to try and give you some points back.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Yay!
That actually gets rid of all the upgrades that were going to be on this check.
Thank God. Because flying into the center of a dead planet sounds like it's pretty dangerous and would have a lot of upgrades. So.
Yeah. It's still formidable, but now there's no red.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I've set up the difficulty for your piloting space.
Go. Aha.
Actually, because she rolled threat, I want to add one.
Oh, I
more.
shouldn't have those setbacks, actually. I forgot to take them off. So I would.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And that would have been 5 setbacks total.
So I would have that last one.
But the last was a failure.
I don't know which. I don't know how you want to do that. I guess that last one, but
roll 1d5.
Okay.
The last one is 5.
Apparently, you can't just do a custom roller in the.
You can roll it. You can do that in chat, in the chat box. There you go.
Oh, okay. You can do it that way. Okay.
It gets rid of the blank one.
Okay. Or wait, it gets rid of the blank one? Because that would be the one that stays, right? I'm confused.
Oh, no, you're right. This isn't to get
Yeah.
rid, it's to keep. Yeah, it is the blank one, so you end up with a success, 1 threat, and a triumph. What would be a good threat for flying through the center of a planet?
I mean, a system strain is certainly one.
I have to be more creative than that.
Yeah,
Actually,
I guess
you know what?
the problem with system strain, with the exception of, this campaign in particular, like with these mini campaign things, is that because we spend so long between missions, it's almost always gone.
Okay, yeah. In fact, you know what? I'll say as you're flying into like this open crevice over here, you are able to look on your scopes and see that a couple of the ships have already either sent down shuttles or have landed. So you can expect that there will be people there, and that's your threat.
Okay.
For the success, though, you not only end up at the bottom up, but even though you have now parked the Sunflare near this complex, still no one has noticed you.
The triumph or just the success? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to break that off somewhere. You succeed the maneuver, and for the triumph, no one noticed you.
Gotcha.
Like, not even the people on the ground have noticed you're there.
Gotcha. We came in like behind a larger piece of debris that was floating in the same direction or something. Yeah.
Precisely. Why not?
Well done, Zivo. Thank you.
Zivo? Pretty sure I piloted this.
Was it he?
He did the stealth stuff before. This is different.
Well done, both of you.
This is interesting looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a while to find.
Apparently sponsored by BP. BP's branching out.
What?
British Petroleum's concept art for like I think the Superman movie.
Baden Powell.
Regardless of whom, you have now come across this cracked landscape of this dead world and have happened upon a relatively, given what the world has gone through, no building should have survived this. And yet in front of you is a relatively intact complex of definitely hut buildings. The scanners are detecting. The scanners are detecting that within this central chamber here, there is weapons fire.
All right. So did we already land, or did we are we still flying over it?
I say that's up to you. At this point, you can prop down right where you are. No one noticed you. Moving closer risks detection.
I'd say staying undetected is probably best for now. Just because there's all that combat going on, we don't want to get drawn into it, especially since there's only 2 of us.
Yeah. Fenris will hand Aiden the Mark III targeting goggles. Whether or not
what does that give me?
It treat targets as one silhouette larger than they are. I don't know if that's just for the.
I don't know if that'll matter if there are people in there.
No, it might help. So what we'll do is we'll get on fresh environment suits, like the ones we had on.
What did you recharge. Do to the ones?
We're just letting them recharge.
Right. You farted in that one, didn't you?
No.
Anyway,
ladies don't fart.
That's proven false. I'm pretty sure. As a married person, that is certainly false.
Oh, you're probably gonna get a smack later.
Yeah, she's already. You'll have no idea this conversation happened.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch this video. Oh right. Okay.
That alone is the entire session worth it. All right. You set down the sun flare and pop in environment suit, new or old. You definitely have plenty on the sun flare.
Yeah.
You're in for a bit of a hike to get to that complex.
Outdoorsman.
Luckily, you do have the benefit of light and gravity because the planet's mass has been compromised. So instead of 2 setback, you now have a boost to all brawn and coordination checks.
So it's not super light gravity; it's like mildly light gravity.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a bit heavier than the moon.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're heading in stealthily.
All right. You don't really have to worry about being cautious until you get to like this chasm right here. Then you're going to have to try and get across. You'll try simply jumping, which you may make. That's going to be an athletics check.
However, Vanris has an ascension pistol.
Yeah.
Correct. I will say, probably from this end to the other end, it is medium range, but you're going to have to straddle the rope to get across.
I was going to say, how about shooting it from that point there?
And from the middle? I'm confused.
No, not.
This image isn't entirely, what the scenery is. There isn't really.
Forgive the crudity of this model.
Yeah, it's pretty much a straight chasm across. There's
right. So there's
thing in the middle you can use.
So
it's like that bridge bit.
That thing is so basically that thing there, which I'm now pinging, is not there.
That thing doesn't. Yeah, that thing doesn't exist.
Or if it does, it's not in range.
It looks so incredibly fragile; it might break apart when you use it, one way or the other.
Okay.
So it's how far across is it? It's long enough, far enough close enough to jump.
You can either jump, which takes into basically the luck of your being able to use the light gravity to your advantage. That'll be athletics. Or if you use the ascension pistol, it is about medium range across.
Okay.
Thing is, there's one of you that could do that.
Unless Dara, Vanris does it first, kind of.
Well, actually,
holds it back on something. Ties it back on something. Let's Aiden cross, and then you can cross.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me get the thing up. It actually says that I could actually carry someone with an athletics check, I believe.
Oh, well then problem solved. We just need one athletics check from Vanris to carry Aiden across with the pistol.
And it says it's a 2 purple.
All right. Difficulty set then. I'll add a boost because of the lighter gravity, but an average flex check.
Aiden will unskilled assist by jumping in the process. If that's a thing that makes sense in this situation.
I guess it would give you some forward momentum.
Yeah.
But actually might cause the rope to kink though, because you're causing slack.
Yeah.
Never mind. I will not complicate the situation further.
Stand as still as a rod.
Rock.
All
right. Yeah, you're able to use the ascension pistol and just cleanly glide across. All right. Now you're in the complex. You can now your own receptors are picking up the concussive force of explosions or blaster fire hitting the ground.
Stealth time? Oh no.
No, we're just hide.
I mean, we should be stealthy, is what I'm saying. But I'm asking Jack if we have to roll for it, basically.
Oh yeah. If you this is going to be a bit of a stealthy jaunt to that central antechamber, where you can probably assume they're fighting over the mural or wherever signifies the next marker.
All right, let me know.
You will get 3 boosts because of the fact that, hey, they're distracted by combat. The clunkiness of your suits will add 1 setback, and then this will be a hard check. Everything is set. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. I was going to flip, but then only one of you would be able to flip and return.
You have 2 dark. Oh, yeah, it's still the only one who can flip, yeah.
Yeah, I could flip both for both of you, but...
I'm not sure why you rolled Destiny Point.
Did I? Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jack can remove it.
You need another dark, though, so...
Damn, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so I'm going to use that light and upgrade that for my stuff. Oh dear, I'm not having a good night tonight.
Well, hopefully I can cover you with that. Yeah, I can.
All right.
We are officially stealthy. Very stealthy, it looks like.
So yeah, you sneak into what is a bit of an upper level to this large dome structure. It looks like, now that you're getting a look at it, again, when you get into this area, it's just oddly pristine. Like, you know, there's a chasm probably about long range from here that completely cuts through the complex. But yet this entire building looks just pristine and preserved by the vacuum of space. But of course, all around the floor, you see like Onyx and his crew seems to be taking up one side, while you see a couple of people in very mismatching spacesuits. You probably assume them to be smugglers or something, firing off from one end. On the one end, there's like, you can't even tell. It's probably obscured by the angle because they'd be underneath you. But they all seem to be fighting over the ground level of this establishment while you're on the upper level.
Do we see the map or a path to it, potentially?
You actually look down on the ground, and on ground level, the entire floor is a mosaic.
Can we just take a picture of it from here?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then head out? Yeah.
Yeah, you just tilt one of your helmet cams down and click, and
then book it out.
you have it complete. Yep. How much advantage did you have? Oh yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you roll again when you have that much advantage in your favor. Yeah, and you're able to pretty much repeat the same plan to get back to the Sunflare.
And then I will.
However,
yeah.
As you get back and take off the helmets, you see that your hut cameras have been flashing a bit. Like the little LEDs at the bottom have been flashing that color they get when someone has received the map. And
I assume it was
finally. Actually, no, when you check the system, you see that Distillegic has claimed this area.
Okay.
It looked like the Outer Rim Survey Corps probably got the first picture of the map.
All right.
You can probably figure that when they showed up, though, the other two teams showed up well, and they just started shooting. Now they're trying to get out.
Let's just get out and go to the next place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still could be the first people to leave since they're still fighting in orbit.
And because Aiden can reliably astrogate it now, because even without the intelligence, he has 4 astrogation now, so it might be decent.
All right. So you're able to get into the Sunflare. Do you just want to blast out of here? Or do you want to try and sneak by the battle again?
Let's sneak by again.
Yeah, let's sneak by again. No one's leaving yet, so yeah, we'll sneak by.
Okay, let's see here. You get boost because they're distracted. I'm going to add setback because of the terrain. And then, all right, I said the difficulty.
And this is...
It's just going to be... This is just Aiden's stealth to get by the battle.
Okay.
I'll flip. Why not?
We get a Ziva boost again for shutting down unnecessary things.
Yeah.
You know, anyone can hit this switch.
I mean, it doesn't have to be you, Ziva, but you're right there. I don't know what to tell you.
Just have the droid do it.
Then maybe the droids would be next to the switch instead of you.
You can't flip what's been freshly flipped.
Oh, you just did that. Sorry, you flipped back then.
I'll just change it manually.
Yeah, okay. All right. So did you already add the boost, or should I?
I already added it. You get 3 boosts total now.
I'll take it.
You have to wait for a rock to get out of the way.
Yeah. It takes
causes a moment.
30
Causes
seconds
a moment
longer.
where you kind of feel like you bite your knuckle for a second, like get the fuck out of the way. Try to get past this massive space battle. All right. And so now you're clear. And I assume now that you have the skill, you want to try and astrogate a shortcut instead of just letting the calculations do it. All right. It is going to be difficult because you're trying to blaze a new path.
Well, it's not necessarily a new path. We have the coordinates to work off of, right? So.
Yeah, but instead of just letting the rough coordinates chart in the drift, you're now trying to chart a way through a hazardous area of space. Remember, because this area, while actually navigatable, I say that in quotes, is still suffering from the effects of the stealth runoff that isolated it. Mm-hmm. So there's still a lot of distortions in the local space.
Okay. So there's still 0 light side points in my favor. I would like to use one this round, so.
No, you can now use the one that's there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hold on. Force player update. There we go.
Gotcha. All right. So adding an upgrade. And all right, I think. Oh, I'm gonna decrease the difficulty by 1 with my strain
All right.
because that is an amazing thing to do. And also second win, so I have 0 strain now. I love that second win. Once an encounter, man. It's great. Okay.
How's that blaster injury though? Still burning?
Oh, it's kind of all right now. I mean, I'm still a little wounded at the moment, but at this point, it's not even all from that. And I'm going to use second chances here. And I'll get the...
Wait a minute. When's the last time you used second chances? It was getting here. Yeah, this is a different encounter. Never mind.
Yeah. So I'll clear that out. So this would be, I guess, just the yellow. Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't want to get more threat. Yeah, so let's just roll the yellow then. Well, it's only 1 threat now instead of...
Sunflare flies off into hyperspace with the calculations you have fed into the Navicomputer. We shall see how the results play out next time on A Race Down the Dead Road, Part 4.
We could still very much be the first ones there because we left first, so...
Unless your calculations are correct.
Well, the thing is, like, they're not going to be outright wrong because...
Yeah, you go.
Worst case, we fall back on the default ones, but...
Yeah.
All right. And with that, another leg of A Race Down the Dead Road is completed. Castaways. XP-wise, it took up another 3 hours. So I think 15 is a nice base. I'll give you +1 for the creative distraction of getting the repair droids off Vanris. I'll take any suggestions, though, for more.
How about successfully ghosting in and out of the battle at the end?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that had a lot of potential to at least damage the Sunflare, even though I doubt Aiden was going to be that perturbed by it.
Well, not even that per se, but just like effectively no one knowing we were there the whole time. Like,
true. You did have the benefit of them having enough time to both catch up and then find it on their own.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you +1, 17. I'm thinking of closing it off there.
Fine.
Don't think there's anything else I'm missing. So with that short payout, I will call an end to this third section of this mini campaign. Thank both Dan and Shadowcat for playing, and thank everyone else for watching.
Thank you for doing the adventures.
Yep.
Thank you.
And cut.
Sorry.
Okay, good. Just didn't.